Hello, everybody. My name is Lewis Lee, and this is Plan in Traffic. We do this every Thursday night at 9 o'clock Eastern Time. So if you're into cars, boats, trucks, or anything you put gas in, that's what we talk about here. Okay, this week, my man Ray, he's running a little late. He's going to be on in a little bit, my co-host. So we're going to get some of the fellas in a little bit, but I want to kick off tonight talking about some of our sponsors. So we got Signature Solar, which is my solar distributor, and they gave me all the solar for the bus here, or this is where I got all my equipment. So if you check out my YouTube channel, Busting Out Schoolie, you can see the install and all the equipment that we bought for the bus. And if you like anything, you can go to Signature Solar and put in our QR code and get $50 off. So something to think about if you're thinking about doing solar for vehicles or home or just about anything. They got it all. Signature Solar. And so we are traveling. We are in Arizona still, and we're staying here until it gets warm on the East Coast, and we'll be heading back that way. So I want to talk about some of the cars we're seeing out here. Man, stuff out here is rust free. I'm not used to seeing vehicles that are rust free. It's absolutely crazy. Makes me kind of mad because I got two trucks at home that run perfectly, and they are rusting out. I mean, you can look at it and see rust fall off. It's kind of crazy. All right, let's see who we got in there. We got my man Vince. I'm gonna pull Vince in and see what's going on. What's up, buddy?
Good evening, Lewis. How are you doing?
Oh man, better not deserve.
How's the coach running? Everything still good?
I think so. I haven't went anywhere for 3 weeks, so yeah, it's running good. Just sitting here.
Well, you hit the key and it starts up,
Yeah, it still starts up.
and that's a good sign.
Yes, sir.
That's a good sign. I was visiting my dad a couple years back, and we were doing. I thought I'd always had trouble with that RV.
Yeah.
The previous owner had put a new fuel tank in it,
Mm-hmm.
and I believe when they put it in there, they just stuck the hose and it had like a kink in it. So when you would go to fill it, was a 90-gallon tank. So
Mm-hmm.
you'd go to fill it and it would just keep kicking the pump off.
Yeah.
So we got in there and so I wanted to make sure that the vent was working, and we blew the lines out. Well, I think we ended up putting some trash in an injector or in a pump because
Oh,
I ended up about a month later having to do an injector and a bunch of other stuff to it.
yeah.
And I was heartbroken because that coach, it was one of those, that had the 4 valve um, Cummins in it.
Mm-hmm.
You'd hit the key, let it do its warm up, breathe on it, and it was running. And
Nice.
after we had done that, checking the lines, I hit the key, and it was like, wait a minute, this thing should be running. Why is it not running?
Was that the 5.9?
Yep,
Yep.
5.9 4 valve. It
Mm-hmm.
was 300 horse. What the HO is what they called it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
and
I
those
had a
years,
Dodge. That.
Winnebago used two motors, and those coaches like a 3126 Cat,
Mm-hmm.
which was 350 horse, or the high output Cummins, which was 300. I never had a problem with that coach. It would run as fast as you want to run down the road. Like I said, about 65, 66 miles an hour. It got 9 miles to the gallon. I'm
Yep.
like,
No matter what.
I don't need, you don't need to run any faster than that. It's 11 foot tall and 32 foot long.
Right.
So plus it would tow 10,000 pounds.
Yep. I had that in one of my transport trucks, all in 4 cars. That motor is a beast.
Yep, they run good.
I think we got 500, almost 600,000 on it before we had to do a head gasket and stuff. It was an absolute monster. And when I tell you we were pulling 4 cars, like we had the wedge that carried 3 cars,
Right.
but then we put flip outs on the front and the back. So the one car was hanging over the top of the truck. I could see the front end of the car swinging by when we turn corners. So we were way overweight.
Yeah, I remember the first time I saw one of those. It was, you know, like a 30 or 40 foot triple axle or double axle trailer,
Mm-hmm.
and it looked like it had like a I don't know what you'd call it, almost like a the thing that you do like to the grill, because you could see the mechanism where they would put the car on it, and then it would just you know, like you said, rotate it up on top of the truck, and then you could drive another one where you just were, and put like 2 or 3 on the deck and go from there.
Yeah, those were good old days. We ran past all the scales, couldn't go through the scales because we were way overweight.
I got, it's funny. I went to Spring Hill, Florida this morning, and coming back empty. 2 times I got waved into weigh. And,
really?
and both times they had weight and motion scales. So, I rolled across the scales and I'm like, I'm only 34,000 pounds.
Yeah. They
So,
still
but
rolled you in.
you know how it is when they say go in. Okay. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Pulled right in, weighed, had the window cracked, radio off, pulled up, got, light, green light, let's ride.
Just wanted to slow you down, I guess.
I don't know. Knock on wood.
Yeah.
Got everything done I need to do today. So,
I used to tell people, if DOT pulls you over, you're getting a ticket.
I was talking to another cohort friend of mine a couple years back, and I celebrated my 21st year of doing this, driving a truck professionally. And, back when I started, and like, when you were doing it as well, I would tell people, when you got pulled over by DOT, you had about a 50-50 shot. If your logs were in good shape and your truck wasn't just a pigsty and just stuff falling off of it and all that, and you treated the officer with some respect, unless he or she, because there are, female DOT, because I got a warning or two. Hey, you need to get this, because I had a bulb at one time that was flickering, and I was like, man, I can fix it. He goes, just because it was raining and stuff. I said, man, I'll put a new pigtail on it. And he goes, just get it fixed. Yes, sir. Gave me the verbal warning. As soon as I had it stop, I got it. It's got a minute. I went out there and I fixed it. But now, like you said, if you get pulled over now, you got about a 98.7% chance that he's going to break out his pen and.
Oh yeah, especially in Ohio, man. For some reason, Ohio, they don't play.
Well, who was it? One of the was it Overdrive or Landline or one of the transport magazines or periodicals every year does a top 5 worst states to get pulled over in for DOT, and Ohio is usually one of them. Believe it or not, South Carolina is on that list too.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I had no points on my license. No, what do they call the when they changed it? A handful of years back, they changed and started doing points as well as points on your license, CSA points. Excuse me.
Right. Yep.
Which I don't get, because only what's the word I'm looking for? Only a politician could come up with the CSA. Because
where you get money.
Well, if say you have a light out on the bulkhead, one of your marker lights is out. Well, the one light is a 1-point violation. But because of the CSA score, it's 3 points for the first year. The second year, that 1-point violation is still on your license, is 2. And then the third year, it's finally 1 point. And it drops off after the third year. Really?
Yeah, it's crazy.
And the bad part was there were certain companies that if you had a high CSA score, they would release you.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine you get stopped and just for something happens, you've got a brake chamber or a brake that's out of adjustment or a slack adjuster that's bad or a tire, just one or two little things here and there. By the time they write, if they, they write all that stuff up, you could be looking at a 50 to, like a 50-point ticket.
Yeah.
Because tires and brakes are scored differently. And plus the triple.
Yeah. And that puts you on radar for them to pull you over all the time.
Well, there was one, I don't remember what company was I saw, but they were in there. You know how the headhunters are always, hey, we've got freight, we're looking for drivers and this, that, and the other. They had one of them that's like in very small print at the bottom. It's like, if your CSA score is like X or that,
don't even call.
we can't deal with you. And it was like 25 or 30. It's like, if your CSA score is higher than like 25,
yeah,
our insurance won't let us hire you.
Yep. It's all the money game.
Oh yeah, it's all, like you said, it's money. It's
yep.
I mean,
yep. You have a high score, the insurance company charge you more for insurance. Oh, yeah.
The one company that I was with for quite a long time, almost 10 years, pulling intermodal stuff, they were self-insured. So the owner would come down there and go, hey man, I got to let you go because we're self-insured. And they said, we can't have you because you've got, too many points or too many tickets or whatever. Yep. Knock on wood. The last ticket I got in a truck, I was on I-10 just outside of 29 Palms heading for Phoenix. And there was 4 of us. And all of a sudden I look in the rearview mirror and I see a nose of a little white Corvette or white Camaro stick out, sit back in and did it again. And he had all the lights going and I went, damn, that's CHP. So I pulled over and he wrote me for doing 65 and a 55.
Yeah.
And like I said, there was 4 trucks and we were all like nose to tail running down. And who got pulled out? The one guy who wasn't a California truck.
Yep.
They let the other ones go. The bad part was, Lewis, as soon as I got into Phoenix, I had school buses passing me. My truck was speed rated at 65 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And, the speed limit in Phoenix or in Arizona is like 70, 75. Yeah. So I'm doing everything my little truck will do, and I'm getting passed by school buses full of kids. And I'm going, well, I sting.
Yeah. But, that's crazy. We got Brian in the house. Let's see what he's talking about. What up, Brian?
Guys, how y'all doing?
Oh, another day in the desert.
I had the Brian starter kit going, and you shaved.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's that time of the year.
Right.
Look at this guy.
You got my man Ray all clean, got a shaving, and
I'm not at home. You can tell I'm not at my regular. I'm at the undisclosed location, but not the real undisclosed location, a second undisclosed location, and we're fresh off a big Italian dinner at a really good hardcore Ginzo place. So I'm a little bit buzzed here. So I'm
okay.
You don't know me tonight, boys.
As long as you're feeling good.
Oh, feel good.
So obviously you didn't go to the pizzeria. You went someplace a little nicer, huh?
Oh, absolutely. Well, we had to go to a wake. My old co-host Joe D, his mom had passed, 100 years old, God bless.
Oh yeah.
Had to come up to her wake, and I'm with my buddy Billy, who monitors this show. He watches every week, but he doesn't come on. Up in the undisclosed part of Queens.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna. You know what? It got so late. I said, we'll just stay here. This way, I'll beat the traffic going home. I'll come home with the drunks and the cab drivers.
There you go. Nice.
Yeah.
What's up, Brian?
Not much. Just trying to. Everybody's all excited because it's supposed to snow. So stand back. Holy crap! It's that time of the year. So.
Well, I don't have to worry about that this year.
Yeah, well, it was funny because Monday we were supposed to get some activity, and they went ahead and had 2-hour delay for school, and all it did was rain. But you know, they're so they don't have nothing else to talk about except for the weather. So they're just on pins and needles about getting this new snow event to happen. You know, they were salt and spraying. They shake down the roads today. I mean, you know, God forbid, you know, that our tax-paying money is going out there pretty good.
Yeah. Ohio, they shut down schools last 2 days.
Did you guys get anything out there?
Yeah, they got a little bit. I think it was more of the cold.
Oh, I swear, man,
kids
they are
soft.
pumped up around here. Grocery store, everybody's panicking. We're gonna run out of toilet paper, need bread. You know, the end of the world. You know, so even at Target, they were dragging snow shovels out front. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. Well, you got to have your house prepared for emergency.
Oh yeah.
Couple cans of pork and beans.
Yeah, well, it's a little early in the season to be worried about too much snow hitting the ground. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It ain't gonna stick. So, but I don't know anything. I just drive around in the tool truck all day, so it's all right.
So how was everybody's Thanksgiving?
It was awesome. Believe it or not, I was really surprised. We had a good turnout. You know, we had 20. Almost 20 people, I guess.
Oh, nice.
So the family, we had my son-in-law brought a couple that were stationed here, so they had no place to go, so they came. So it was great. It was just everybody behaved. Nobody was at the end of the world.
Nobody got arrested.
Yeah. So I mean, like I said, sister-in-law brought apple cider and Fireball, so everybody got a little spicy, turn up the heat a little bit, and it was a good time. So
the misfit toys.
Yeah. I was just waiting. I was figuring how I was going to keep everybody eating, so they didn't have to talk about religion or politics. But we didn't have the problem. So
keep a plate in front of them.
Yeah, and we didn't even really have any leftovers. It was like, I think the first time that we really didn't. I mean, usually I think I only got one, maybe 2 turkey sandwiches afterwards. I was a little
messed up the game.
So
we went to a local diner here in Quartzsite and helped them serve dinner for people that didn't have anywhere to go. So we helped there for a couple hours, and it was real nice. You know, we got to meet a lot of the people here, and it was nice. I mean, nice, comfortable day. The weather was nice. You know, that's about it for us.
What I'm looking for.
Yeah, ours was pretty good. I went. I ran back over to Charleston. My the ex had invited me over and didn't really have anything planned, so I went over there, and my son joined us. So it was it's a nice.
Oh, good.
So we all got to sit down like the old times, the whole family. So it was a good day.
Nice. What about you, Ray? How was your Thanksgiving?
You know, I was home, me and my wife, my younger daughter, just the 3 of us. So it was less food, less climactic, less activity, kind of anticlimactic. It was like, we could have gone out to dinner. So it was quiet, and that was nice.
You know, if you ever run into that again, Bob Evans has a great Thanksgiving setup.
Yeah, we don't have Bob Evans by us, though.
Oh, you don't?
No. I think you got to go upstate to find the first one, maybe.
Oh, really? They even have like one year, my wife didn't want to cook, and they actually cook all your whole Thanksgiving dinner, and you just go pick it up.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
You tell how many they have, like packages on how many people you're having, and
then we have the same thing with Bob Evans, Boston Market, Popeyes. They have that Cajun whole deal type thing.
I think Cracker Barrel does too.
You
can do something like that with Cracker Barrel. They do a traditional style, Thanksgiving dinner.
Nice.
Or you could just be. We did it one year. Just order Chinese. Easiest thing. Got a whole bunch of egg rolls and everything else, and just.
Well, you know they wasn't busy, so you can get in and out real quick.
Yeah, well, I tell you, we had that one year. It was kind of weird because it was just really us. It was during when we were all supposed to die, so it was just us and my mom.
Year 2000.
So we just we said that's it. We're having Chinese, and it was funny because it was like 2 days later. My mom's like, I made a small turkey and some stuffing, so we're gonna have because it was just didn't fit in the whole format. We still had to have that turkey fixed to get things started.
So there's a Chinese restaurant here in Quartzsite, and it's in the side of a tent. And well, it's not even a tent. You know those carports you buy that don't have the sides, just have a metal roof? It's like 2 of those put together, then they put sides on it.
Wow.
And it has Chinese food on the outside on a raggedy sign. I have to take a picture of it. And it just don't seem right, man.
How's the food?
I don't know.
Probably good food.
I was gonna say half the time those places that look like that, they've usually got pretty good food.
It's scary, man. I'm scared to go in there. I haven't seen a cat in the area either. So
well, that's a whole different story. But that's a whole different story.
Again, I can't help but reiterate. We just came out of an Italian restaurant in Queens, and if you guys, you got to experience this for yourselves because you can't imagine the quality of the food and the service. It's just over the top. It's just, but for them, it's normal, you know. And, I gotta say, I don't think you get this many other places. I don't know what other places you would even have to be besides Palermo, Italy.
yeah. Well, we got a lot of transplant mafia here or in Youngstown, so I think I could feel your experience.
Have you been to any of those places, Lewis? Have you ever partaken?
Yep.
You have? Okay, so you know that. Good. Yeah.
You know what I like? I like when they have the I think it's olive oil and some kind of cheese in it, and you dip your bread in. What do you call that?
It's like you get like a tapenade or whatever, and they give you the bread. Yes, that's before the appetizer. Yes.
Yeah. Oh man, I could eat that and just go home.
You get a little dish with the right. That's very staple. Yeah.
I got experience of that. Lewis, my sister's first husband, Italian, and had a restaurant. And the first time I ate at his restaurant, they come out and they brought us the fresh bread, and they put the plate, and they got olive oil, all that down. And then he looked over and he goes, "Hey, Vinny," because he always called me Vinny. "Hey, Vinny." He goes, "I got some gravy. Hang on." So he comes back. He's got his gravy's perfect. So he brings out a little bowl of the gravy and the stuff to put that. And it's like I could just sit here and just eat the sauce. The sauce and the fresh bread and all that. And it's like, oh,
yeah, good eating, boy.
Yeah, he had a pastry. He was he always had a pastry chef, whatever, in his restaurants. So if he wanted breads or pies or whatever, this girl was really, really talented. He would just kind of give her an idea of what he wanted, and she would just go with it. And like I said, really, really talented girl. She knew how to make the old school stuff, and whatever chef wanted. It's like, hey, just tell me in enough time to do it, and I'll do it.
Right. So Ray, you look like the mafia guy over there passing the piece around.
Hey, listen.
You on a hit somewhere?
Listen, when you go to a wake up in Whitestone and you got to go to a local restaurant, you got to fit in. You know what I'm saying? you can't be like the Goyim coming in off of in Syosset or from like the 5 Towns. You can't be the guy. You got to at least pass the test coming to the door that they're going to let you in.
Yeah.
And then pass.
You're missing the hat. You're just missing the hat, Ray.
It's out in the car.
Did you have to have the fedora reblocked, or were you okay with your standard?
No, I left it in the caddy. No, mine's okay. It doesn't have to be reblocked. It's not a felt hat. I got a I don't even know what the hell it's made out of, but yeah, you can tell I'm even losing my voice. We were talking so much tonight. You guys at the wake and I've been talking since like 2:00 this afternoon. So we're, like I said, I'm with my good friend Billy, who does monitor this show, so he knows what's going on. And
Hey, Billy.
Hey guys.
but and usually during the show he'll send me texts about, to ask a question or to clarify or to answer a question. So when you hear me, a lot of times he's sending me the information.
Okay.
If you want to talk old school race car stuff,
Motion performance.
motion, which
Nikki,
is local.
Dana,
Yeah,
Berger, we got it.
or you want to talk crime stats, or you want to talk ComStat, he could probably give you that information too.
Hey.
So
Hey, all of us like that stuff anyway.
Well, Ray, I hate to bother you because of the lack of the voice, but being a young one to the scene in the 70s, what's correct? Is it Baldwin or motion or Baldwin motion?
Baldwin motion. Now Baldwin was the town. Yeah, Baldwin was the town that Motion Performance was in. So they say Baldwin motion is correct.
Okay.
Because that's in our limited of again, being from where I'm from, we knew of the Baldwin motion cars, and that's how they were always presented, was a Baldwin motion.
Right.
Is that a Mexican Coke?
Yeah, I can taste the cane sugar.
That's a good one. Those are the good ones.
When you come out and you hang with your boys, you only get top shelf. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I had my choice of liqueurs earlier, and I chose Jack Daniels. So we were sipping some Jack before dinner, and then of course dinner was some red wine and an aperitif afterwards. And this is going to be the nightcap.
So were you neat or on the rocks or?
I did on the rocks. Yeah, I took rocks this time.
I'm the same way. I like it on the rocks. I know other people. Oh, neat. That's your style. Have at it. I'm on the rocks.
I will do certain neat, but you know what? It was the afternoon still. I knew we had a lot of hours to go. I said, okay, a little bit of distillation here with the ice isn't going to kill me, so it'll help out.
Yeah.
So,
pace yourself.
Exactly. So, yeah. So it was kind of weird not seeing you guys. Miss a week. You don't realize how ensconced you get in the habit of doing a show. I mean, the show I do on Sunday, Motor Mouth Radio, or this show. I know Brian had expressed that to me the other day, and it's so true. You really get used to hanging with the boys, and when you don't get to do it, it's kind of like, hey, I'm missing something.
Yep.
I know, because the 2 weeks before Turkey Day, like I had told Ray, I would have been on, but I had one of those 2 a.m. wake up calls for Friday morning. So it's like, it just, as much as I want to see you guys and hang out, I'm like, 5 in the afternoon, I'm in bed because I was like, I've got to get a handful hours of sleep.
Yeah, it's hard to switch your routine up, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
So Brian, we can't see the. Oh, the Mustang's still back there? Yeah, I see that.
Oh yeah. It's,
Defender, right?
It's sitting kind of low.
Have you made a little more progress, Brian? Any more work?
A little bit. I had I had a little sidestep. It kind of. I'm trying to get back. I got actually. It says I don't think it's going to show up, but I ran out of gas for the MiG, and I ordered. I went to, I really wish we can turn the clock back a little bit, because I went to the place I normally get, and of course the guy's like, oh, this tank's over 10 years. We have to go get it certified, and we have to do this, and I'm like, come on, dude, you just, So.
You don't have an Arco down there or up there?
Huh?
You don't have an Arco up there?
No, I tell you, I just. So I'm like, all right, whatever, dude. So picked up the phone and I ordered a new tank. I mean, it's actually cheaper. I ordered another tank, and actually I just got an email saying FedEx was on its way. So I don't know if it's going to show up tonight. It has today's delivery date, so I don't know. Won't be the first time. I got something the other night at 11:30 at night. So
Oh yeah, you know Amazon started doing stuff overnight, like in the middle of the night, like 2, 3 in the morning.
Yeah,
I got to tell you something. We order a lot. My daughter orders a ton of Amazon stuff, and between her and my wife and me, I mean, literally every day. So there's a house across the street from me that's being rehabbed and rebuilt. They gutted it. A couple of weeks ago, one of the guys that's working over there, one of the Spanish dudes, comes across the street to me, rings the bell. He's got a couple of boxes in his hands. I'm like, who are you, you new Amazon guy? He's like, no, they deliver. I'm like, what? The Amazon guy delivered it to that house. In the back of the house, there's not even an address on that house right now because it's being totally rehabbed. So I thanked him. And now it was it today or yesterday? My wife says the guy comes over with another box. Amazon delivered it over there. I said, maybe this is part of the scam. They're delivering it over there, then they're going to come back knowing it's a dead address and then take the box. Now, my house has the address on it. So either it's a lazy Amazon guy or it's part of a scam.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I told my daughter, I said, when they ask you, how's your delivery, go into the comments and tell them they're delivering across the street to a house that doesn't have an address. Maybe we can nip this in the bud. I don't know. So,
yeah,
interesting.
You can actually go in and message them direct.
Okay.
You have problems like that. Yeah.
I'll tell them to do that because I don't know. I don't know if it's just negligence. The guy is stunad, a new guy. I don't know. He doesn't care. He just sees people out there working, so he delivers it. I mean, my house has the addresses on it, so I don't know. So, but I'm thinking maybe it's a scam. They're going to come back later and pick up the boxes, but I don't know.
We had that a couple nights ago. Lucy got me up. She was kind of a low growl at the door, at the bay window,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, what's going on? And the guy had parked, I have motion lights, but he had parked at the very end of the driveway. And I saw a flashlight come on and then come off, and I was like, oh, shit, here we go. And then I realized that it was the Amazon guy, but it was, it was like 2:30 in the morning.
Yeah, I forget what they call it. It's on there. It says something delivery, like overnight delivery or something. And the first time they did it, man, he came about 5 o'clock in the morning. And I was like, oh man, what's going on out there?
Yeah.
That's when you part the curtains.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
That's what I did.
How you doing?
I was, like I said, okay, Mr. Glock is going to be doing some talking here in a minute.
Meet my double barrel.
Yep.
Meet my buddy Remington.
Yeah, my friend Smith and Wesson.
Yeah, Lucy's pretty good. I tell you, like I said, she's gotten me a couple of times, and she, if there's something ain't right, she lets you know, and she's good at that.
When we had our dog, we had a little Yorkie, and I tell you, if there was like a thunderstorm, he'd be up in the window barking his head off. I swear, he would run into the blades of a combine to save the family. And he was this little, 8-pound dog. Fearless.
Yeah, that's the way Max was, our Westie that we had. He was, man, I tell you one thing, for a little dog, that dog was big at heart, man.
Yep.
Yeah. I had a Chihuahua when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And that was the meanest dog I ever had, man. He'd go out and fight dogs, come back all cut up, but he was a beast.
Yeah. What kind of dog was that, Louis?
A Chihuahua.
Chihuahua.
Wow.
Chihuahua.
Yeah, he was mean, man.
Yeah. There he is.
Hey, fellas.
Hour.
One of those hours. I don't know which one, but it's one of them.
What's going on? How was your Thanksgiving?
Michigan
Good.
in
It was
the
good.
house.
What's that?
Michigan in the house.
Oh yeah,
Nice. Good to
we're in
see
the
you.
garage at least.
You got some snow up there?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's not the snow's not the worst of it. At least around here, it's just a cold.
Yeah.
It's like 9 degrees right now.
9, really?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, I'm
Arco
over
sent
it.
me a thing. He's 5 below right now.
Yeah, he can keep that.
Yeah, man. I
The
told him, get out of
man-
there fast.
The man, the myth, the legend has joined us.
Papa Squirrel.
Hey,
Squirrel.
Everybody's coming in.
I've been having a lot of troubles lately getting on. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Pop up.
How's
But
your
I ain't going
Thanksgiving?
anywhere it's 5 below 0.
Yeah.
I don't think any of
get
us
it.
are.
I don't understand, man, living in a place like that on purpose.
Ray tipped over.
He's been tasting a lot of stuff this evening, so
Oh yeah. I'm logging in now on a PC, so I'm going to come in on another link. Okay.
okay.
Yeah, put that down. Yeah. Okay. We're going to close down the phone. Now we're on the PC. Okay. Good.
You can't be on camera. I'm witness protection.
I know. All right, we're good.
It's amazing not to see you with your background.
I know it's a little different, right? Well, I'm in a different location. Like I said, Papa Squirrel earlier, you missed it. I had to go to a wake and out of town. Well, out of my town, but not out of the state. And I'm at a friend's house. We went to dinner, and now it got late enough where he just said, "Hey, why don't you just do it at my house?" I was like, "Okay, we're good."
Yep.
So,
You do it on the fly.
yeah.
Well, I still
That's
have
good.
my
That
house
can
yet.
make it a little bigger. That's good. Yeah, we're good.
You say what? You're in Queens, Ray?
Yes. Up in northern Queens. Oh, that's bad. No, that's bad.
Oh,
No. Now I'm in witness
yeah,
protection.
really?
We're playing with the lighting here to try and get it right.
Yeah. Get one of them voice changers, and you don't even know it's
Very
you.
good one. Yeah, no. Well, look, I can't hide from you guys, so it doesn't matter what I do, right?
Yeah.
You got my number.
Papa Squirrel, how was your Thanksgiving?
Not bad. My daughter made me a special sweet potato casserole.
Yeah, but you can still
It
see
didn't
that.
have sugar in it, so I got the pig out on that. And of course, turkey and the normal things. I
Yeah.
loved it.
Good, good. Hey, Coach.
Hey guys.
Isaac,
Hello.
Did you get some snow, Coach?
The mountain did.
Yeah.
I got some if you want it.
used to have my
Hey, I wouldn't mind some of that coming this way, but yeah, no, we got it. It was on the mountain.
Okay.
Yeah, it was on the mountain. It is a bit chilly though.
Yeah, I seen Phoenix got a little bit.
Yeah, I saw something posted. Somebody I know up there got posted something, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know what that is. Just because I don't expect them to get none.
Yeah.
Not that I've never seen it, but
I'll tell you what, it gets cold at night here in Arizona. It's 54 right now.
yeah, I'm not sure what we are right here. Let me see. Probably about the same. Let me see.
We're sitting at a balmy 48, slightly rainy.
29 here.
It says 25 in New York. Let me get back to Tucson. Yeah, it's
Isaac, why you monitoring New York?
because I know people there.
Yeah.
You.
Let's see.
Actually, when I pull up on the weather app or on the phone's weather app, when I pull up the different places like New York, I can see your time. I more so use it for your time so that with the time changes, since we don't time change, I
Right,
try to
right.
make sure I don't text at the wrong time.
This is New York right now.
Yeah.
27.
Yep.
Darn heat wave.
So Brian, I'm doing one of your numbers right now. This afternoon, I had to drop off my wife and my daughter at the airport. They're down in North Carolina for my other daughter's baby shower. So I'm batching it for like 5 days.
Holy smokes!
So I could come up in the kitchen and clean parts if I want. Rebuild the carburetor on the kitchen table.
We might all have to set a reminder and call you for Sunday, right? To let you know, right?
Right,
Pull the-
exactly.
Pull the parts
Here's
out the
what-
dishwasher.
Here's what
I
Arco
can't
sent me.
see it, Lewis.
Can't
Fade
see
it out.
blur.
Is it blurry?
Oh, wait, that's
There
better.
it goes.
But I see blue.
Wait a minute.
Big Falls. Oh, that's Arco. Was it five minus 5?
Yeah.
Wow.
You can keep that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I used to live in weather like that. No, thank you.
Yeah. Not on
So,
purpose,
yeah.
at least. I can see if you might get stuck there for a minute, but not move there.
So Papa
Yeah.
Squirrel, I sent you a new suggestion for a Christmas present for Debbie. Did you get that?
I haven't done much of anything looking at a computer. Tell you honest truth, I just got up.
There's a new pistol out that she would be dead enough perfect for her.
What is it, Vince? We've been talking about that all night tonight.
So let me find it. What the hell?
Justin, you sold your car?
I did, actually.
Yeah, tell me about that. Why?
I don't know. That's a good question. So, obviously, you know, for those that don't know the history, it's kind of a rare car because it was special ordered without the window and whatnot. And me personally, I would have no problem cutting it up, customizing, and sleeping like a baby the next night. But I understand to some people that might be something you wouldn't do.
Just,
So, you know, it's like a '69 Trans Am. You know, that's a car you
Oof.
don't cut
Listen.
them up. You
Yeah.
restore them.
That one you don't. Your car you
Right.
could.
I could. And again, I it was just kind of on a whim, like, okay, you know, I'm gonna just entertain the offer of selling it and see what happens. Like, I didn't need to, and I ended up somebody contacted me and ended up buying. It's actually the gentleman that owns the National Parts Depot. He's a collector and he's got a bunch of rare Fords and Lincolns and just I think he's got like 200 cars or something like that.
Wow.
So he actually bought it.
nice.
So yeah.
So now what's going to fill the void? You got something in mind?
I have already acquired that something.
Nice. What is it?
I actually drove down to Akron and got it about a week or so ago. The 1979 Ford LTD wagon.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
I'm pretty excited. I always wanted a wagon anyway.
I'm gonna call you the
Nice.
wagon master.
Something like that.
Now, are you going to customize that one?
Oh yeah.
Are you gonna go National Lampoon's Vacation, the quadruple lights?
I
And
think that is the only thing that will probably get me to have to sleep in the wagon because that's what my wife does not like that. That is her one thing. She's like, that is so ugly. It's like, well, I'm not gonna do that, but
Ray, is that going to be your new carry?
Vince, I'm going to send you some pictures from when I was in Tennessee in 2018. I went into coming off the main road, coming down the strip. They call it highway or parkway. It's called parkway in what the hell town is that? That's Sevierville. And I went to this gun and knife store. I think it was called Knife World, maybe. And I went over to the gun section. They had cases, glass cases, SIG cases, Smith cases.
Is that the 3-story place?
Yes.
Yeah, I know right where you're talking about.
I'm going to send you a couple pictures of what I saw there, which is kind of like along the lines of this. Ridiculous. So yeah, they're very nice. That's really not a good carry gun, no.
Well, I know
Every gun's a good carry gun.
some of the impressive hardware that Debbie shoots, and that would just fit right in.
Yeah. Well, I'm
Looks like
hoping
a lot of
next
fun.
year to be able to do some shooting because our friend finally has gotten some help that she can depend on. So my wife doesn't feel like that she's obligated to go with her. So next year I might have a couple of months off to go shooting.
That'd be good.
Nice.
Well, yeah, because damn it, I just picked up 1,000 rounds of 40. Oh no, I'm sorry, 1,000 rounds of 9 in quartzite this year, and I want to go shoot some of it.
Did you go to that ammo place this year?
Uh,
Quartzite?
okay, you're if you go to the four-way, God, I'm having trouble trying to think how to describe it. Anyway, there's a
You go to the cactus and you make a left.
Yeah.
Sorry.
except the cactus is probably somebody's storefront now.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, this place here, Ray, has every magazine for every gun. I mean, everything.
I told you I'm
for
looking for some Glock 19 mags.
Man, I'll go. I'm probably going there in the next couple of days. You said Glock 19s?
Yeah,
All right.
I have a Ruger RXM, but it takes a Glock the 19 mag.
You want a 30 rounder?
Huh?
You want a 30 rounder?
I would love to, but I'd be highly illegal in the state I live in. No, I need 10 rounds.
You sound like California. That would be highly illegal in California.
Yeah.
It's just 310s. So
Yeah,
technically.
yeah, I know.
Ray, I won't tell if you
Put
don't
10
tell.
rounds in it.
Right.
We won't tell.
I was born highly illegal.
I know you won't tell. Yeah, me too, Isaac. So listen, let me just jump back a half a step here. Justin, I don't know if we finished up on this. That's nice. That's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a 10 round. Mm-hmm. We got a 10 round mag right here.
Well, there you go.
Fully loaded. Look at that. I just mentioned it. It comes out of the easy here. They just like the prop guy just hands me stuff. It's great.
It's just like in your normal location. You got everything you need right there.
You got that right. Yeah. Yeah, there he is. Those are the hands. Those are the magic hands. So Justin, just to back up, what's the plan for the wagon now? What are you going to do with it? Or how is it set up? What's the powertrain? What's under the hood?
It's a 351 Windsor. Basically, so it's the same Panther platform as the Lincoln was. So 351 Windsor. It's got an 8.8 body on frame. Basically going to kind of do the same stuff I was going to do with the Lincoln. I'd like to lower it, make it a little quicker, but just keep it something that I can road trip.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
I want.
All right, do a 408 and you'll be all set.
Yes.
It's got a C6 in it?
Yes. No, I think it's a C4.
C4,
it's a
really?
3-speed. Yeah.
Depending upon how much power you're going to do, an AOD would probably fit that body as well.
Oh yeah. Yep. Well, that's because the Lincoln had an AOD in it.
Yeah, and a lot of guys don't like the AODs.
I would do it. I would do it without
that extra gear is nice.
The overdrive is that's like with my car. I have debated on doing because I know where I can get a 4-speed to go behind the 460, but the thing is so huge and the thing is so heavy, and my car's got 320 gears in it, so it's like it's not a bad gear. Tire's probably going to be 27, 28 inch tall, so
right. I was pretty impressed. I know the car's got a road gear in it. It's probably a 273 or something like that. Because like I said, we went down near Akron where I picked it up, and I drove it home, and that was 5 hours at 80 mile an hour down the highway. Just and like it didn't wind out at all. It's just loping loud.
A little long.
Yeah. Well, I love spending other people's money almost as much as I love spending my own.
Oh,
Vince, for you, I'd say TKX, man, a Tremec TKX. That's the ticket right there.
Well, that's like I said, the stick is going in the convertible.
Yeah.
The convertible's going to get a stick when I do the FE for that.
We're doing, my boss is looking at getting he's got a 65 Comet, and he's got a 427 stroker small block he's looking at getting, and we have a TKX at the shop that's going to go behind it.
Nice.
It's gonna be awesome.
Is he gonna 4-link it?
I think eventually, yeah. We're gonna have to do something because he's gonna break the 8-inch that's in it.
That
Put
would-
some
that would be-
88s in the rear, boy. Whoop, you got a wheelie machine. That'd be nice.
When you say 427, are you meaning an FE 427 or a stroke
No.
Windsor?
Stroked Windsor from Schmedding
Stroked
Performance. It's like I think it's 600 horse, something like that. Crate motor.
Yeah, because the Windsors, even because you're the 302 and the 351 that's got the taller deck height. So, but it's still not as bad as the FE because I mean, you got about that much room between the shock tower and the FE, where it is the Windsors and the 9.5s and all that. They're a little more compact, so you got a little bit more room in them.
Yeah, we did a 67 Cougar a few years ago, and that had a 428 FE in it.
That was a nice car.
That was a nice car, but it was easier to pull the engine to change the spark plugs than to try to do it in the car.
Then you get into the zone where Brian is in. At that point, it behooves you to cut the shock towers and go with the coilover setup, like we did, but like the guy did on the Mustang I was working on. Very beautiful setup. And he didn't even cut the shock towers out. He didn't have to. But again, it gave him the coilover with the disc brakes, and I'm assuming the car is going to ride pretty nice. And then if you do the shock tower delete, which I know gives Brian fits, like with all of us, that really that gives you, what is it, Brian? That's going to give you at least another 8 inches?
Oh,
at
least. Yeah, at least.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of guys are now taking, they're taking the shock towers from a 67 and putting in, because they're skinny, they're cut different.
Oh, okay.
And they're retaining. And then a lot of guys are also now just trimming the fat on the 65, 66 so that you can trim it down to get it in. I don't think you still can't get it like a Coyote because they're so wide in there, but to open them up a little bit.
But see, I don't know, like seeing it for myself on the Mustang, on the 66, seeing the coilover setup, how nice and compact it is. I mean, he obviously didn't have to cut the shock towers, but if you did cut the shock towers and put that in, now you get the best of both. You're getting the compact suspension and the engine room. He didn't need it because he still has just the 302 in there. But if you wanted a wider motor, big block. Yeah, I guess it's a personal choice. It's what you want to do. If you don't want to cut them, you don't have to cut them.
And that's part of the reason why he's going to keep with the Windsor based engine in the Comet, which is he didn't want to cut shock towers.
Too bad it's not a big body Comet, because I've got an extra 9-inch that would fit underneath it.
Hey Brian, can you put a Mustang 2 subframe under a early Mustang?
Yeah. Yep.
It's an pretty easy deal.
Yeah, well, that was part of the whole thing with cutting the shock towers. You put the Mustang 2 front end under it, and now they have it where you can keep the shock towers in and do it. They actually have a cradle or whatever that does it. The only problem that I have with all of that, I'd love to put a rack in it, is just that I can't run my Cobra oil pan. Because the oil pans in the front, you got to put a Fox body. You got to put like a Fox body oil pan in the back with the pickup.
So that's like a Chrysler with the front sump.
Yeah.
The worst idea for drag racing in the world.
So, but I want to retain my I have a T, the T oil pan. Or I have a Maduna oil pan, a big chrome. the gold one that I ran. Was an 8.5 quart one or whatever to set down in the front.
Yeah. Sure, spend more money on oil. What the hell? It's cheap. Hey, at least you don't have to make a hole through it to pass the tire, the settling through.
Right. Well, I don't know. There's some of the stuff that I've seen what guys do to keep that.
Yeah.
Of course, or if I want to move the engine back, that was another whole problem too. A lot of guys move the engine back, but you still have the same problem. You got to put the like a Fox body or rear pickup.
Asking. Well, listen, dude, if you go moving the engine back, you better move your seat back too, because you're gonna be.
Well, my seat's already back.
No, you'll be in the back.
I'm already sitting in the back seat.
Right, you'll be sitting in the back seat like Brutus.
That's why I want to move the seat risers back, because back in the old days, I had 4 inches of the seat tracks hanging off the back of the seat risers.
That is my one big complaint on those cars, and I'm not a tall guy, and I feel like I'm up in the headliner.
Yeah.
Brian, now you know why I have a midsize and not a Mustang.
Yeah, but even the midsize still didn't give you. I mean, that was still
the Comet and the Fairlane got more room in it than a Mustang or a Cougar.
Yeah. So,
hey,
and I'm only 6'2". So
listen, Billy just reminded me. Our good friend Dougie just pulled in an '81 Malibu 2-door small block car, and it's going to be for sale. Those cars are great. People love doing those, like for match racing or.
Oh yeah,
that's like a square body, right?
Yeah. Small 2-door, nice, good weight transfer.
One of my coworkers has got one for sale too. It's just a roller, but it's a super clean car.
What's he asking for the roller, Justin?
I think he said 75 or something like that.
Okay.
It's a Southern car. He got it from actually another buddy of mine. It was a set up as a drag car at one time, so it doesn't have interior and stuff in it, but it's like you can eat off this thing.
Yeah,
Ray,
I don't know what the price is going to be. This is a runner. It's got a full interior. It's ready to turnkey and drive.
Nice.
Ray, I didn't tell you about the one that I missed a couple months back. 75 S3 Laguna.
A Laguna, yeah.
Had the swivel bucket seats in it.
Colonnade body. The only problem is the rust worm. Yeah, you got to look at those cars for rust.
I grew up driving those things, Ray.
Nice car, very nice car.
Oh yeah. This one
back in the day, nobody paid attention to them. Nobody wanted them. They even had an SS version. Yeah,
they had
burgundy and white.
Well, black and white.
Like I said, when I saw it, it had the Laguna front on it.
Yeah.
And 75 was when they had kind of a flat panel tail light with the Chevrolet insignia right on the bulb. So when you hit the brake, it lit up the Chevrolet insignia in the bulb. And I'm like, it's just stupid stuff that I remember from having a 75.
Yeah.
And like I said, when I saw it was a Laguna, and then she goes, yeah, it's got a 370. She goes, it's some kind of a 370 something motor. And it was like,
that's
372, 377. She said, yeah, it's a D-stroke 400.
Okay.
Talk about something that'll zing.
400 though.
No, yeah.
That
was the beauty of this 400 was, the bigger bore with the medium stroke.
Ray, that's what Bill Grumpy Jenkins set all of his records in that Vega with, was the 377.
Was it? We were just talking about Jenkins tonight, in fact.
331.
Because
Billy thinks it was a 331, Vince. So we need a fact check on this.
Well, which one? Because
good question.
Because he started with the Camaros and the big blocks. The Grumpy's Toy 1 was a big block Camaro.
Yeah. Right. We're talking about the Monza.
You're talking about the Monza.
Vega, or he had Vegas and then Monzas, and
that's what we were talking about. Yeah.
But I know one of them, he was, because they talked about that as that combo, because it was a D-stroke, it would zoom. And it still had a good, bore ratio. Your piston speed wasn't crazy, and he made a lot of power with it with a D-stroke motor.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Sounds good to me.
Well, back then, when those guys, kind of like with Smokey, if you were on the good guy list with the General Motors,
yeah,
what do you need?
Right.
Here's some blocks, here's some cranks, here's
yeah,
because they would do a lot of R&D work for those guys.
Sure, skunk works. So Justin, I think you ought to go out and you got to go find a 460.
So I do have a 429 actually.
Ooh,
I could put that together.
nice.
I
Well,
got
the
that.
460. I mean, you could find a junk Lincoln, pull the 460
Oh, yeah.
out of it.
I
little
got a.
massage.
We picked up. We were gonna put it in Dad's 78, and we just never did. A 429 out of I think it's the early 70s LTD or something like that.
Nice.
You know,
So
you got the block numbers.
I don't.
Well, you know the Dove blocks, because that's what mine is. Mine's a Dove block, and then the C9s and other. The C9 I think is the later model, and again with the
It's,
some of the guys. Was that right?
explain that for me. What's a Dove block?
It was just the cast. Ford's casting. I don't have any paperwork with me right here.
What?
They were the one. They were the early 429, 429, 460 stuff. They were sought after because the main webbing was thicker on the Dove in the Dove blocks. And
So was that the same as a boat motor?
Again, a lot of that stuff depends on the years.
So what was Dove, like the casting foundry or something? Because usually that's associated
numbers.
with the foundry. Or
It was just, well, Ford would disassemble a car, and every nut and bolt and piece got what they called a base part number.
Yeah.
Why I remember a 6B203 is a belt tensioner base part number. So if you go in there and tell them you need a belt tensioner for whatever, you're gonna the first set of numbers is your engineering numbers. Then it's going to be the 6B203, your base part number, and then any adaptations or not modifications, but updates and stuff like that will be the last set of numbers in your Ford part number.
okay.
And the Dove blocks, the Dove A motors, where that was kind of their engineering code.
Okay.
And just like
I just never heard that before, so I'm curious. It's interesting. That's an interesting little fact.
And the same thing with the heads, the Dove heads that normally went with those blocks were really good stock. They were heavy cast iron, but a little bit of pocket work and stuff like that. The
Right.
guys get 600-700 horsepower out of a 2-bolt main motor with no problem.
Wow. Justin, can you do one thing? You either got to like dual quad or do like a Hillborn stack on that car.
I will cut any hood for stack injection. I don't care.
Nice.
Any hood.
Nice.
I'm
Nice.
pretty excited. That crate motor that my boss is looking at for the Comet's got stack injection on it.
Oh, nice.
That was one of his things. He's like, I like it. I want it.
Right.
But yeah, no, I will break out the Sawzall. We are going right now.
I like you more every show that we do. You know that?
I gotta be good at
Well,
something.
when the day comes to cut my other hood, I have one a hood already cut. We'll set it down and you can do it. Yeah,
Like I said, I ain't scared. That's actually what this is here. That was the piece that we cut out of the that Biscayne we put the 632 in.
I was going to ask you about that. Yeah.
Those are freshly painted stripes on that piece right there.
Wow.
And then we put the 632 in, and the 2-inch cowl wasn't enough, so yeah, here we go. Ain't scared.
Touch up paint to do the raw edge and kind of dress it out.
Which we ended up cutting the entire scoop off that hood anyway.
Yeah.
We put a whole 6-inch scoop on, or a cowl on it.
Wow.
That's a tall engine.
Yeah.
But
So what else? What else do you have in the shop currently?
We got quite a few cars. We're just about ready to paint a 64 Impala.
Oh.
That's a SS 4-speed car.
Nice.
Couple trucks in there. I'm working on a 62 Corvette right now.
What your Corvette?
62.
2. Nice.
So, which the only thing 62 about it's the body.
What are you doing to that?
We put it on an Art Morrison chassis with independent rear suspension, LS, Tremec T56, going right through everything.
Yeah, yeah.
But we're gonna leave everything out is gonna be fresh, except we're gonna just buff out what's there for the paint and leave it.
So he brought you a body and chassis, and you're doing all the mechanical.
Yep. He brought us the car, and like I said, we just tore everything out, and like he ordered the chassis.
Are you at liberty to say roughly what a job like that's going to cost the guy at the end of the day?
With something like that, I mean, we're over six figures right now, and we're not quite done.
Yeah. I'm not
But I mean,
surprised.
that's the chassis.
Well, the R. Morrison
Oh,
chassis, the beauty is you can buy that chassis fully decked out with brakes and
Oh yeah,
yeah.
which he did, and honestly, that's a solid way to go. But you're paying for it. I mean, that's a $40,000 chassis.
Well, my friend, the guy I went to Indiana with, that he bought that '59 Brookwood two-door '59 wagon. He's looking about doing a chassis too. The same thing. I think the third chassis is going to be about $30,000. And
I thought it
and
came
then-
with the chat. I thought it came with one.
it
Or
well,
was
it came
it an
with,
extra
two.
chassis?
Two.
it came with two X chassis, and one of them
they
already
weren't-
has.
I thought one was done up already.
Well, one of them already has a C4 Corvette front suspension in it, and it was already modified to put a 06 GTO independent rear in the back. But he just decided, you know what, if I just go with an aftermarket, and it was a guy who left one of the big chassis companies who opened up his own shop in Tennessee. I think we talked about this a while ago. One of you guys
Yeah.
mentioned the name of the shop.
You're talking about Scott's Hot Rods.
Yeah, Scott's Hot Rods.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it's going to be, I think at the time it was like $30,000. Maybe it's a little more now, but
Yeah.
it's soup to nuts, brakes. You just put your body on and your engine, and you're done.
We just got a guy actually from their shop. He used to work there. He moved back up north and came work for us.
Okay.
Oh, really?
We got one from there. We got one from Roadster Shop too. We're collecting them all.
Collected them all. Nice. You need somebody from Boyd.
Yep.
Nice. So
Hey,
yeah, I
guys.
mean, if you got the wood, if you got the money, and my friend does, the way to go is with the chassis. Yeah, without a doubt. You just go with that aftermarket chassis. Everything is done. You drop your body on it. You're done.
And realistically, yeah, we could do everything that's on this chassis. We could do that to a stock chassis, but
Yeah.
end of the day, the main part of the chassis is still a factory 62 Corvette, and you're gonna have just as much money into it.
Sure.
So
Hey guys, I gotta jump off. I'm gonna leave it running though. So I gotta jump off. Wife had a bonfire out front, so gotta go tend to the fire.
that sounds
We'll
warm.
roast some marshmallows.
Yeah.
That sounds
So,
good, Lewis.
So
So I'm gonna
All
leave
right,
it on.
Lewis.
I'll come back check in on you guys because if I log off, it's gonna cut everybody off, right?
Right.
All right,
Yeah.
so I'll leave it on. I'll come back in later.
Hey,
Nice.
Lewis. Hey, Lewis.
Yeah.
I looked in. I talked to my wife and looked in. She said from here to Tombstone, it's about roughly an hour and a half.
Okay. All right, cool. So I think we might take a road trip in a couple weeks. Maybe head that way in the Jeep.
Okay.
So I'll let you know if we're coming your way.
Yeah, just keep me posted.
All right, cool.
You
See you
you
guys.
heading up to Indy next weekend?
Nah, man, it's cold.
No?
I ain't going back to east till it's warm.
I don't blame you there. Don't blame you
All
there.
right, guys. I'll talk to you later.
Hi, Lewis.
Take care, Lewis.
Boy.
Yeah, so yeah, we got a handful of other cars, like a couple of Mopars that we're doing some suspension to mechanical work on. Yeah, we got lots of cars.
And they always need both of those.
Yep. Yeah, we got a 70 Challenger TA,
Oh, nice.
and we got a really nice 68 Charger.
Okay.
I'm excited just that we have a 68 Charger in the shop.
Yeah.
And
How's it set up? Is it a big block car or a small block?
Yeah, 383.
283.
It's got a little bit of stuff done to it, but honestly, from the outside, it looks like a factory car. This guy that owns it bought it brand new. He takes real good care of it. Like I said, it's got headers and a couple things done to it, but
Okay.
for the most part, it's a stock 68 Charger.
Nice. Brian will race him with the Mustang. We'll recreate the movie.
Yep. Bullet 2.0.
You know, I was just watching a video the other night. One of the channels I follow is like car chases, TV and movie car chases, and they highlighted Roy Scheider's car from the 7-Ups, the Ventura. And they said how this car was the unsung hero. They, at the point, it was a low budget flick as it was. And then when it came down for casting the car, they didn't really have a lot of money left. So they just grabbed this Ventura, figured, hey, you know, it's a nondescript car, silver, put baby moons on it with trim rings. They figured, you know, it looks like a cop's car. You know, nobody would. And I was waiting to hear that they had done some trickery under the hood and juiced it up and whatever. But they never really got into the mechanicals. They just kept reiterating how the car became the star, and it really did. And of course, we learned that on the I guess it was on the hutch of the Conic, I forget what roadway they were actually, that a bad guy can actually shoot a shotgun at you and blow your hood off. So we learned that's a mystery from the Ventura. But that was that was pretty cool. So you see, I was waiting to see something like that because that movie has become iconic for that chase scene alone. And a lot of it was unscripted. It was like the other chase scenes of the day. They had the stunt guys go out and they put heavy duty suspension in the car. And there was one scene in particular. They said they wanted them they were in upper Manhattan and they wanted them to go down a road and hit this dip because they wanted to see the reaction from the car. And they told them flat out, wood it, put it to the wood. We want to see the biggest reaction we could get. And they got it. They said the car literally like kind of lost control. And they didn't have backup cars for that either. So, you know,
Ray, that movie has some recycling in it.
Well, yes, because the audio track for that car, yes, is actually the Bullet Mustang from Bullet. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Well, that was common for the day because you know what they mentioned that they said the car really didn't have a great sound that would really project well on film, so they did take the liberty, like they did with many movies, and used it from another.
I think the Bullet soundtrack is on a lot of cars.
Yeah, I think so too.
Or the one they used for the Bullet soundtrack, it was probably used on a lot. I'm not saying that was that from that car.
I mean, I can hear right now, like wabba 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 wabba, like you know. And how many times I think he shifted like an 18 speed, and he was leaving wheels on gravel. I mean, all the great stuff was happening. You know, it was. But hey, look, it was a movie. You know, nobody thought back then those movies would be watched 40, 50 years later and picked apart. So it was just like something to go out. And they said the 7-Ups too was kind of like an afterthought. It did terrible in the theaters. It was really not a well received movie at the time. And
that's one of the hardest things to tape, anyways. A car to make it sound good. I mean, it takes a lot.
Yeah,
it takes a lot to tape that. You just can't.
Right.
It doesn't project very well.
Yeah. So they said that it wasn't well received in the beginning, but it became a cult classic, of course. And I'm reading the comments as I'm watching the YouTube video, and a lot of guys are saying, no, but the Granville was really the star. Man, the Granville gets no credit at all. That's what the bad guys were in the full-size Pontiac. I was like, yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know. But
I don't know. The one that still gets me to this day, as much as it's one of my favorite movies, is the ending of, we talked about it that one time on the radio show, Super Soul.
Yeah.
Vanishing Point.
Kowalski.
Vanishing Point. Thank you. Takes a few seconds these days. Vanishing Point. Yes.
The clearly 68 Camaro hits the
Camaro, right?
hits the dozers, and I was like, yeah, it's not even close to it.
Well, I just watched a video on that too, and I think they had 3 or 4 challenges, and they wrecked like all of them. And I think they only had the hero car left, and they weren't going to wreck that. So they said, let's pull in the stunt double. And, but, that just, in my brain, that just transitioned into something totally different, which I don't know why the cars took me to music, but we lost Steve Cropper, man. We lost my favorite guitarist. Blues Brothers, you know,
Colonel Cropper passed yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah, man. You know, Booker T and the MGs. What a great guitarist. Every time I hear Green Onions, the hair on my neck still stands up. It's such a great song.
Well, that's what I heard. That's what Booker T and the MGs,
Right.
the Memphis Groove.
Right. And the interesting thing was back in the day, that was an integrated band. There were 2 black, 2 white members, and they could play in the South. They got away with playing in the South, but they couldn't book a date up north. Like they couldn't come to New York because, or I'm sorry, it was just the opposite. They played in the studio then there. They could play up north because it was a little more, I guess, liberal. But a lot of the southern small places wouldn't book them because they were an integrated band.
Yeah.
And it's a shame because, man, they lost out on a lot of good music.
Well, look what Sly and the Family Stone did as far as white, black, female. I mean, they had a wide ranging genre in the band.
Right. Yeah. I mean, some bands
why they worried about that. I just,
some bands were progressive.
Who cares?
Well, that's it.
Right.
And music. The way I look at it is, music transcends anything. So if you're good, you're good, and I don't care what you are or who you are, but you can definitely add to the mix. But a lot of people didn't think that way. So it was.
Well, that's it. Steve Cropper. I saw an interview one time where he was talking about because he played with Otis Redding.
Yes.
And
he worked on Dock of the Bay. He put the finishing touches on Dock of the Bay after Otis died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was what was the one song he did in the Midnight Hour?
Which, you know what? I just read today. The name of that song was, and I don't remember the exact name, but it was something like Jesus Will Protect You in the Midnight Hour. Something like that. And they shortened it to In the Midnight Hour.
That's the little clip I had heard with Steve Cropper said. He goes, we're playing, and he goes, he would end the song, and he would start, he goes, I didn't hear all of it because he's behind him. He goes, but I heard him say, something in the midnight hour and this, that, and the other. And then he called him outside. He says, man, that's kind of catchy, that in the midnight hour and all that. He says, that work that up. And
Right.
and about a week later, he says they had the basics of In the Midnight Hour, and they, of course, put a little spit and polish on it, and
Sure.
another one.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Well, it was
legendary. Big loss.
Just like the how it amazes me how what seems so insignificant can become hits. The guitar player for Kansas, that very infamous 12-string guitar work in Dust in the Wind, that was just something that the guitar player he did that to warm up.
Oh,
and somebody heard him and going, what are you doing? And he says, man, that's a killer. That's a great sound and all that. And he's just like, I'm just kind of, warming up, getting, just trying to get ready to go play. And they go, man, that's great. And even his wife said something. He said, man, we need to do something with that. And he's like, that's just kind of a scale where I'm just kind of, getting my, just getting warmed up, just trying to get going. And then
that's what I said, like, to many people over the years, like, you know what, your practice is better than my best work. It's like some dude's warm up is like, becomes legendary because it's just that damn good.
The Smoke on the Water. Did you ever hear the story? What I heard was that was their warm up song. That they're doing that during sound check and going, okay, everything sounds good, this, that, and the other. And then the incident with Frank happened, and they started putting some words to it and goes, hey, this with that's became a hit.
Yeah. And the way they recorded that too, they recorded that in the halls of that hotel. They were in the hallways, and they had, there were a couple little alcoves. So they had like Ian Pace with his drums in a little alcove, and Blackmore was over here. And that was originally was recorded in the halls of the hotel because they they lost the space. So they recorded it right there in the hallways, which is fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, Frank and them lost everything that night. All his equipment, all that stuff went up.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah, that's crazy. I'll have to my DM password. I got some shit to my wife here.
I think more things are done by accident than they are on purpose.
Well, you know, happy accidents. You know, that happens
Yes,
all the time.
exactly.
Right.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm a happy accident.
That works. So, Brian, what progress did you make, and what did you lose? on?
Well, like I said, I spent a little bit of time, and I've gotten more room. I mean, like I said, I was just trying to really get things out of the way. I mean, when I started all this, I dragged everything out to see what I had and how many I had and what I had, and start finding pieces. It was funny. I was over at Mom's, and I was down in the basement, and I thought I had gotten it all, but I found, the trim for around the windshield, all the stainless, and like I said, I spent a lot of time dragging that stuff out and and of course that was all kind of piled around, and now I'm just trying to. My biggest thing is now. I've got stuff like the shock towers. I have tack welded. I got all that fixed. The one place, and I've got the braces put in. I just got to do a hard weld. I got to finish welding everything in, and the torque boxes up front. I just have to get all that stuff welded in, and I'm just trying to make room. I don't want to have a fire. I'm so afraid of.
I'll tell you a little funny story. Last week we had a little. I moved my daughter up into the apartment upstairs, so hot water baseboard, and there was a leak, so it kind of soaked the carpet and the underlayment. So I went up there, and I remember that right after a 90-degree turn on a wall on a corner years ago, I had a tenant up there, and it leaked. So it was their bedroom. I couldn't pull everything apart and get in there to do a really, really good repair. So I said, you know what I'm going to do? I JB welded it was just a slight little pinhole in the copper. So I JB welded it, put a piece of heater hose over it with 3 hose clamps. I said, I'll get to this later. Well, this is like 8 or 9 years later now. So now my daughter's up there. It leaks again. I said, okay, I got to fix it now. So I cut it out. I sweat in a piece of copper, and then I used a shark bite fitting. But I had to lift the pipe up so I could get at it. And when I dropped it back down, and now that's a couple of weeks ago. Now she's telling me it still kind of smells funny up there. And I noticed on my ceiling, which is below it, I saw a line. I had a tape line on the ceiling, and it's still plaster on my ceiling. But this tape line, every time I taped it or spackled it or fixed it, it always cracked again.
Yeah.
I just had a guy redo it a couple months ago, and now I noticed on one half of it, I saw a little bit of a stain. I was like, uh-oh. I said, that's coming from above. So I go back up there again, and when I lifted the copper pipe, the next joint down the line just fractured a little and started leaking very slightly, but enough that it soaked again the padding and got through the floor. So I called my buddy in, Pete, the guy that I sent you that Mustang stuff from. I called him in because he's got all the right tools. I had him fix it for me on Saturday. But what was the point of this whole story?
Just making room.
No,
Fires.
Fires. So at first I said, okay, no problem. I see, what is this? One copper pipe into the other with a joint. I cleaned it with a wire brush. I refluxed it, and I was just going to solder it. So I got my torch, but right there is where the baseboard. There were 2 sections of baseboard that meet. but they were separated by about a ½ inch. And as I was hitting it, I had a piece of asbestos tile that I had. I put it on the floor under it so I wouldn't light the soft stuff on fire. And of course, the torch hit the one piece of wall right between the two baseboards and blackened it. I said, okay, I got to cut another piece of this off to stand it up behind it. So I got my new Craftsman, that cutoff tool that I bought. And I go outside. And actually, a friend of mine dropped in from Rhode Island the other day as I was working. And I said, excuse me, I just got to go outside a minute and do this. So I cut a piece off. Of course, there's dust everywhere. I came in and put the stuff down, and I said, asbestos dust isn't a problem, right? He goes, I don't know. What are you doing? I said, I just had to cut a piece. It was kind of made a lot of dust. I said, the way I figured it at my age, it's not going to catch up to me now. It's like, what's the difference? So my wife was looking at me like, what the hell are you doing? I'm like, nothing, dear. Just taking care of business.
Yeah.
So, and then, of course, that didn't work. It wouldn't take solder. So I called in a plumber, my buddy Pete, and said, Pete, come over here and take a look at this. And he fixed it up, and we're done. So yeah, cutting asbestos, breathing the dust, who cares? At this point, Justin, don't you do that. You got too many years ahead of you.
Too late.
Too late. Yeah, tell me.
I'm already shot, so it doesn't. I figured, what's going to happen to me? What are they going to say? You got some asbestos? Some more?
Right.
Yeah. So, like I said, just trying to make some. I made more room, and like I said, that was just the biggest thing. Getting the stuff that I really don't need at the moment. I got back and just out of the way, and instead of, like I said, every time I came down to do something, I had to spend a half hour moving everything out of the way.
Yeah.
To get started. And like I said, I ran out of gas. And once that comes, I'm just, like I said, I'm hoping to just sit down one day and finish burning everything in, get the front done, and then I'll finish the back.
Right. So speaking of that, I was thinking, you know what? I got to sell stuff off. We know that. And I'm like, I was debating how to do it, eBay, whatever. And I said, you know what? The eBay saved searches that I have, I can see what's going on. And I remember this. It's coming up to Christmas. Guys start buying the stupidest shit. So yes, I said, that's it. I'm going to list a couple things. And I knew eBay changed since I last used it. I didn't know it changed this much because I went on, I started the listing process. I had my pictures ready. And then it came up, pick your plan profile, for your fee. And there were like 3 plans. The lowest one was like $19. So for $20, you got to pay them $20 just to list it. Yeah. And then there's fees on the other side once you sell, which are a lot smaller. I'm like, wait a minute. What the fuck did they do here? Like, I didn't expect that. So I just backed out of the whole deal. I said, hang on a minute. That's not what I was looking for. I don't know. That's, that changed a lot. I don't know if I'm thinking, okay, now if you don't sell the thing, you're out to $20. And obviously we're not talking about the king's ransom here, but I don't want to hand them $20 when I could keep the shit and not sell it. So I don't know what I'm going to do.
Yeah. I'm, like I said, I'm in the same boat, and I started, same thing, and I don't know. I'm just going to try. I really hate to try Marketplace. I don't need any friends.
Right.
That's the problem. I every time I've ever dealt anything on Marketplace, especially, God forbid, they find out where you live, and everybody knows where I live. Then they come by all the time. So I don't know. There's got to be an easier way of just getting rid of this stuff.
Speaking about where you live, I was thinking about I should take a drive and talk to you in person. I finally took a look at that last bill that you had sent me, and there's a few things that were missing off that bill that we need to talk about.
Huh? No.
Yeah, there were. Well, I don't know if you want to get into it now. We should talk about it later, maybe. I'm like, what the hell's he doing here?
And there was nothing missing.
Okay, it's I find and that's how that's kind of how I roll. I mean, when and I trust people, and of course I trust you. I don't need to second check it and second look at anything because I realize everything is legit. And then when I look at it, I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on here? We gotta talk about that.
Well, we'll talk later, Ray.
Yeah, we'll have to talk about that. That's I think that's the best answer. Yeah, it's the best answer.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I don't know what to do because, like I said, I've got so much. I got a lot of Porsche stuff.
Oh yeah.
And again, I don't know what I want to do with it. Somebody said that I should, just load it all up and go up to Carlisle, and when they have their import thing or whatever. But I don't know. Like I said, I really don't want to. I hate to say, or I really don't want to pay, whatever, $40 for a table.
Right.
I just want to get what I got.
That's why I tell my wife. I said, it's like an auction. I said, if the right two people are in the room, you're golden because they're going to run it up. I said, if only one of them are there, maybe not.
Yeah.
They said you could hit it or you could miss it, and it's definitely hit or miss.
And some of these guys, today, it was funny. I was sitting in the shop, and this guy was talking, and he had gotten a 944, and he was trying to rebuild or get into the transmission and so forth. And finally, one of the other guys knew that I worked on him, and because I didn't say anything, I was just listening. And he said, "Oh, this guy," and he's like, "Oh," and it came out, like, "Do you want to rebuild this? Do you want to do that?" And I'm just like, he's looking for a friend, the friendly favor. You know what I'm saying? I said, "There's nothing friendly favor about rebuilding that."
Yeah.
And I don't know. Like I said, I got two 944 transmissions sitting right here. So
He wants you to rebuild it and pay him for you
Yeah.
rebuilding it.
yeah, just about. Well, I even said, I told him, I said, why? And he goes, "Well, I think I have a synchronizer problem." And I said, "Okay." And I said, unless you're going to buy Porsche synchronizers, it's not even worth trying to put something cheap in there, because that's not a easy take apart and just fix. You don't want anything cheap going in there,
Right.
and that's how half these guys are anyway. They don't.
I had, when I bought my Fiat, it had been taken off the road. I found out later because it was fourth gear was bad. So you'd have to go in third, get the revs as high up as you could to go into fifth, and it would drop at like 400 RPM. So, and it was because of a bad ground of all things. So I bought the Synchros. It was a blister pack kit. Synchros, wave washers. I bought an installation tool off
The
eBay.
little dog leg things or something, the little
Yeah,
blocks.
yeah. And I was gonna take it apart and do it. I ended up finding a good transmission, and I just swapped the other transmission in. So, and now I got rid of the core. I had it sitting outside for years. I finally junked it. I got rid of it, and now I have this brand new Synchro installation pack and the tools sitting there. I'm like, now what am I going to do with this? Who's gonna?
Yeah.
What else gonna want this?
I wanted to tell the guy the story about, hey, I know this guy named Chris that bought these cheap ignition parts.
Yeah. Ignition coils, right?
And this is why we don't buy certain things. You don't buy cheap parts.
Right. That's right.
So and even shit with today, even buying good stuff, or you think it's good, doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
Heck no.
Brian, I got a friend who found out the hard way about that cheap stuff. They put a Chinesium El Cheapo water pump on a 12.7 Detroit.
Yeah, you don't need to tell me. I the same thing. I put a El Cheapo turbo on my truck, and it cost me.
And within 2 weeks, when the impeller shaft split in half, and if you're familiar with a Detroit diesel, a 60 series, and that piece fell into the front case and damaged all the bull gear and all the fuel pump, air compressor, and everything in that front cover.
Vince,
So-
what was the story behind that oxygen sensor that you sent me about? What the hell was that all about?
I had a load to Hickory, North Carolina the other day. I was coming back, and I was even preface that about a week beforehand, I had went down to Tampa and come back. Post trip, I'm walking around the truck, and I see that old familiar on that rear tail or the rear piece of frame, the dot 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 the oil. I went, something's leaking. So I grab the light, and I'm looking. Rear pinion seal's leaking. I said, well, truck's got 432,000 miles. I'm in that window to 400,000 to 500,000 where stuff is, it's time. It's just a natural thing to just start to wear out with the truck being 5 years old and that kind of mileage. So, get in touch with the mechanic because that's some of that stuff I can't do. So I get in touch with him, not a problem. We go to order the parts. I go ahead and I book one more trip. I said it's because I had checked the level in it and all that. And I said, it's still pretty full. This will be the last run. And I'm going to have to, then we're going to fix it. I'm about 2/3 the way back from Hickory. Check engine light comes on. And I was like, oh, good Lord, here we go again. So Kenworth is nice to where it's got a little thing in the dash where you can look up or lights, issues, whatever. So I'm scrolling through. I'm sitting there. I had stopped. I was doing something, and I'm scrolling through, and it's okay. Warnings, active warnings, passive, all that. So I'm like, okay, active warning. I click on it. Basically tells me to hook up a scan tool. I went, well, that's not very informative. Telling me to basically hook it up to a scan tool.
I know.
Fast forward to Saturday. Mechanic is having some issues with the pinion. Hey, I got to run. I got to go get some stuff. It's like, well, I got to go do some paperwork. So I gave him one of the keys to the truck, and I said, well, just do what you got to do. I got to run up to the office and drop paperwork off and that. So he shoots me a message, and he says, I picked all my, he says, I got to go get some torches because the nut is just kicking his butt. He can't get the pinion. He can't get it apart. He says, I put the computer on it, and he says it's a NOx sensor.
Wow.
Or forward or front NOx or forward NOx sensor. That's your check engine light. So I make my little notation. So I happen to be up there at the dealership a little bit later on. Hey, do you have, give them the VIN and all that stuff. And this is, do you have one of these NOx sensors? Nope, don't have one. I'd have to order from Atlanta. Hands me a piece of paper that's got the quote on it. Now, mind you, it's a oxygen sensor with about a 7 or 8 inch line, and it's got like a square box. And from what the mechanic was telling me, there's like a little computer chip in there. Imagine that. They got the computer chips on everything. So he slides me the piece of paper, $987.12 with a $98.75 core charge.
Oh God.
And it's basically an oxygen sensor.
Yep.
I was like,
875 going on mine.
Oh,
875.
for that. Oh, night isn't over yet.
salute. So I made a phone call to some people that I know that are in the heavy duty world, in the PACCAR world. PACCAR owns, or is Kenworth and Peterbilt are both built by PACCAR.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I know some people in the PACCAR world, so I make a phone call and give them the numbers and all that. And they said, yeah, we've got 2 of them in stock. It's not a PACCAR, but it is a Walker. And he starts going into Walker exhaust and all that. And I was like, dude, I'm familiar with Walker. I just, so he says, yeah, he goes,
You're familiar with Johnny Walker.
well, I know Johnny
Him
Walker,
too.
red and black, and his cousin blue. So,
Exactly. It's because Blackie and Red. Yeah.
Yeah, but so he goes, the store that I used to frequent, he goes, they're showing 2 on stock or 2 on hand. And he goes, they're across the counter at like $437.
Wow.
I said, well, that's better than 987.
Yeah.
So,
So
Yeah,
why the
right.
difference?
So when I finally got in there and got to see my buddy who's the parts manager and the pricing that they have me on, it ended up being, knock on wood, thank you, Jorge, at $388 and some change with no port charge. So, but it was a 250-mile trip to go get it. But hey, it is what it is.
Right. Like I said, that's kind of like the cost of doing business in the truck world, unfortunately.
Yeah, so we're gonna see if we can't set the guy who works on my truck, if we can't get him an account set up, because the company that I bought my truck from is well known to be proud of their stuff.
No, yeah.
Jesse James.
Well, his stuff is handmade compared to they're just selling stuff.
Yeah.
So, but I agree, $1,000 for a pizza cutter, that's kind of excessive.
Yeah.
Then it is a handmade Damascus steel pizza cutter.
That's nice.
So
It's the coolest
nice.
pizza cutter for sure, but
Yeah.
I'd have to eat a lot of pizza to
well, like
make
I
that
said,
make sense.
he's got some beautiful cookware, some of those Damascus steel knives and the copper cookware and stuff. I mean, it's killer stuff. But I don't have that kind of money. I'd love to have it, but I don't have that kind of money to spend.
Yeah.
So, but again, having met a few chefs, yeah, they don't care. I mean, like I said, my sister's first, he showed me 3 or 4 knives he had. He's like, yeah, that one's 700, that one's 800, and this one's like, that's his tools. That's what he works with. So,
Right.
to him, that's nothing.
Coach, you sent me a dirty picture.
Yeah.
I think I have one.
Oh, just one. Let me know. That's the style that I'm looking for the 914. That's the style redhead I'm looking for the 914.
I think I have one of those.
Okay.
So Ray, if I make my way up there, you take me to Michael's in Brooklyn.
Oh, Michael's of Brooklyn on Avenue R. I've been there, and that's a very good place.
You said, like I said, I had talked to you about that one time before, and even Tori said something about he had been there, and the food was
phenomenal. The arrabbiata, the puttanesca, everything about them is top shelf. It's hard to get in. The place we went in tonight, we were on a Thursday night. The place is packed. We got a table for 2. Luckily, they had that shoved in the corner, or we wouldn't have been able to eat. It was like the good places do good business.
Because believe it or not, when I make spaghetti, I use the Michael's of Brooklyn sauce, which I can get down here.
Michael, yeah, it's a very good sauce. Yes,
the gravy,
right.
Like
I said, they push the arrabbiata and the puttanesca. It's very good. It's good stuff. They had such a demand for it that they started selling it jarred. It's Rayo's does the same thing. You can buy Rayo's sauce also, which is in Manhattan. That was a big mob joint. Oh, here we go. Hang on. We're coming out of the.
Side hustle.
There we go. Look at that.
Monty's. This is a nice little side hustle too with homemade jarred sauces. See, if I'm at a different place, I get different props.
But you still got props though.
Of course,
it's consistent. Of course. Consistency.
Justin, it's New York. We got props everywhere. We always got
got
stuff.
to.
Yeah, of course.
I'm a key grip.
So I'm curious, Justin, again about this car. Like, what's the, what's the plan? What are you going to do first?
First, unfortunately, just sit there because it's wintertime and snowing. I'm bringing in. I got some interior work to do. Fix the headliner. I'm gonna start doing some engine work, probably swapping out distributors, carburetors, stuff like that. It's the same kind of stuff I did on the Lincoln.
What color is it? Baby blue?
White.
Oh,
White. Oh, I pictured like brown. White. So, I mean, distributors and carburetors. Why? First of all, is there a problem, or you just want to upgrade?
Yeah, it does have a little bit of an issue. I think the ignition box is starting to fritz out on that, the ignition module there. So I did the same thing with the Lincoln had a problem. I just threw a ready to run style distributor in it, simplify it.
Duraspark in it.
The DUI, like the DUI distributor, those are very good.
And then
what about a Sniper and a Hyperspark?
I'd like to do something like that eventually. Maybe when we put the 429 in it.
I've come to. I was talking to a friend about that, and he was saying, you kind of went the opposite of Uncle Tony here. He says, this is my buddy who has the GTX he's restoring. He says, you got so much technology in this car right now. I said, I know. If I ever break down, it's flatbed time. So you're not fixing it on the side of the road. You can't.
Hillborn mechanical injection.
I have Hillborn mechanical injection at home.
Oh, man.
I do have one off of 60, but it's off the earlier version Pontiac, so I'd have to have it. But Hillborn said they'd convert it to EFI for like $2,000. So
that's what the 34 that one that we sent out your way there. That was an old mechanical stuff they converted.
Right.
Plug and play with a little ECM underneath it.
Yeah, we had the Holly Terminator ECM and bam, bam, bam.
Yeah.
No, the reason
he's been enjoying that car.
The reason I asked if it was a Duraspark distributor, I've had so many of them through the years, little Mustangs and stuff like that. We start having trouble, snip, wire in an MSD or whatever, and just use their pickup and just
right.
And just boogie on down the road with as long as as long as the distributor's not worn out and the bush, it's clapped out. But as long as the distributor's in decent shape and the gears are, it's not all chewed up.
With a red interior.
Wiring in a box on, a CD type box on them things is easy and inexpensive little boom, and you're done.
Might not be a bad idea.
Because you're looking at nice. Like I said, as long as because you can lock them out if you want to, or
yeah.
What color interior is?
How's that?
Acceptable. Highly acceptable. Highly acceptable.
What color interior is the car, Justin?
Red.
Yeah.
All right.
Red tennis balls.
You see, my Billy's saying on the Hillborns, you got to put red tennis balls in the stacks when you park it.
There you go.
I don't know where you get red tennis balls from, but
we'll figure it out.
Amazon.
Get some small beans. A couple of Pensy Pinkies.
Yeah. I think we're a couple of mechanical things. I'd like to lower it. Get 2-3 inches lower, I think, would be nice.
I'll tell you something. A wagon with like a mini tub looks really, really cool.
It wouldn't hurt
no
my
one
feelings.
expects to see the fat rollers on the back of a wagon.
Oh, that'd be awesome. It's got Magnum 500s on it right now.
Oh, sweet!
I think they're 8-inch wide.
Okay.
So
are they chrome or painted?
That's what
they're chrome. They're 14s. They're the exact same thing I had on the Lincoln. I had a set of 14 Magnum 500s because the price was really nice.
Nice wheel, yeah.
The only problem I have with some of that stuff, and don't get me wrong, when I got the kit to do my car, I'm running, like I said, I'm running an AJE with a Fox body setup on the brakes. And I've had a lot of guys go, how come you're only going to run a 10-inch disc? It had drums.
Yeah.
A 10-inch disc has got more stopping area.
Listen, I'm running 10.5-inch discs on my car too. I just went with a stock rotor that I had, and I said, hey, you know what? It's going to be better than the 9.5-inch drum. So far it is.
Well, see, the thing with mine is, call me crazy, but I like the look of my car on the stock 14-inch because that's what it came with. So I can put the 14s on it and it looks stock, or I can put 16s on it and it's it's going to have do the 4-wheel disc brakes, so the brakes are better than what it had in 66.
Sure.
Right.
Sure.
And I can use either wheel. I mean, I've got Crown Vic wheels on it right now just to roll it.
Yeah.
And the 16 sevens that the Crown Vics have fit it nice.
Yeah.
So, and that's
there's a lot of options, and that's
Oh, yeah.
I like having options too. You can always
Oh,
switch it up if you don't like it. Yeah.
because Coker has got a tire there with red lines, and you can do a big and little in red lines in 16 inches. So, like Ray just said, there's options.
Right.
Oh, so many options.
I keep saying when it's time for tires, I'm going to go to Vogue and get the Vogue gold stripes because my car is gold.
Not my caddy.
Yeah, I don't know. That'd be kind of weird. But
That'd be different.
that'd be different. All right.
It would be. Red
When I
lines
worked
would
at the
look really.
Cadillac dealership, we sold a lot of those tires.
Your car would look nice with the PMD wheels, 16-inch with the red stripe.
Oh, I got 17s on there now.
17s now.
You know, I had a set of Vogues on Riviera wheels, and I broke them down a couple of years ago. Let me see if I can show you. I found something out about a Vogue tire that I didn't know. When I broke them down, inside there was a little surprise inside the tire. Let me see if I could find
So, Ray, you're saying you might be doing some 30s and Vogues on the GTO?
30s. No, I'm saying when it comes time for tires, I might go for a Vogue gold stripe.
Do you know what 30s and Vogues are?
The spokes. You're talking about spokes?
Mhm.
Usually it's like 80s. Vogues and spokes was the term. Or Justin, who was it that had a different name for that? Somebody that I deal with. I forget if it was on this show or on the Motor Mouth Radio. Oh, it was Carl Anthony. I think he had a different term for it because it was regional. We called it Vogues and spokes.
That's what we call them down here too. The 30, usually 30s and Vogues were the Krager spokes, or if you wanted the Daytons, the hundreds, the 80s or hundreds.
Well, the true spoke was like 30 because those were fat spokes. Those were fatter spokes. But the other ones were smaller. Where the hell would that be? I don't even know.
I can remember guys coming into the shop when I worked at super shops with 155/80 13s on a 7-inch reverse wheel going, can you put this tire on this rim?
Well, it's like
I can put it on, but there's no way in hell.
Yes, that's it.
The tire's this big and
Right.
a 7-inch rim.
Here we go. Look at that.
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah.
Right by the bridge. See, only in New York, you get a shot right by the bridge. There
Yeah.
you go.
So,
And
those
that's-
appliance.
there's your Vogue. right
Vogues
there.
and spokes.
Yep. Beautiful.
Mobile, come on now. That's what it was.
Wow, easy.
All that white stuff.
Square grouper.
How about this? You want to go do what do you call it? Live and let die? We'll go do
Landau.
down
Yeah,
the
Landau.
drive with
Yep.
the pitmobile next to us. Nice. I got a picture here somewhere. Yeah, but that's it. You know, there's so many different styles and options and things you could do, and that's the beauty of it. You know, there's always something.
And that's what people are always there when when we're building stuff like that. It's between that and paint is another one that people have such a hard time making a choice.
All right, so this is just Vogues on the Riviera wheels. And it actually says Vogue Tire, Tyre,
That's
Yeah.
correct.
on there. And let's see, it also says custom built radial. And when I took it off, look, inside the tire was gold.
Mhm.
The inside of the Vogue tire. Billy, look at that. The inside of the Vogue tire was gold, fully gold. I didn't know that. I never broke down a Vogue before that. I had some old tires. I even had snow tires on Pontiac rims that I had back in the 70s that I finally took out from under my deck and decided to break down and keep the rims. They didn't want to come off, man. There was more rust on the floor after I did that. That was ridiculous. I hate doing, the rust that was on the floor.
Oh my!
Yeah.
I hate doing tires, especially, man, I hate it. I'm not a tire jock.
I
hate it.
I didn't mind it. Like I said, I enjoyed my time when I worked for Super Shops for those couple years.
Well, newer tires, yeah. The old stuff, oh my God. You know, I got a picture too. I had a set of N50 15s on Anson Sprints that I had on my Camaro, had them on the GTO, and I brought them to my friend at the tire shop, and I said, just do me a favor, break these down. I just want to keep the rims. That guy fought for about 45 minutes to get those tires broken off the rims. They did not want to come off.
You need a good tire hammer.
Yeah, I said, look, I'm going in the front. Call
Tire
me when
hammer
you're
for
done.
those.
Tennessee's best, Vince. Tennessee's best.
That'll clean your pipes out.
Nay means nay.
Hey, you got to have something so you can breathe.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Start getting older, all these things close down and try to.
I'll tell you something. You know, I have a partially deviated septum. I've always had sinus issues, and I was, you know, seasonally, it really drives me nuts. Since I've been using the CPAP machine, man, that stuff has gone away. It's just gone. It really has, you know, that just having air through the system, I guess, doesn't make sense, but it's been working.
So Ray is now officially forced induction.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Not naturally aspirated anymore.
Hey,
No,
Injection
it
is
ain't.
nice. Injection is nice, but I'd rather be blown.
What the caddy looked like when I got it.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
What's the other one?
Those ambassador tires on nylons.
That's great.
Gases for washing parts, alcohols for drinking, and nitros for racing.
They go back to 1972.
Wow. Wow. So listen, if any of you guys are in the market for a 70 Caddy, the guy I had on the show Sunday said he's going to be selling his, and it's like a pristine car. Oh, 71. I'm sorry. Right. It was 71 with like less than 40,000 miles on it.
Yeah, it was crazy.
And it's garage. And I remember back in the day when he was the iCar trainer I took all the classes with. And that was the guy I was going to get my welding certificate from to get New York State certification. But I waited just a little too long, and then he wasn't doing it anymore, so I lost out. But he hasn't been driving a car. He just kind of garaged it, and that's it. So he's saying, yeah, you probably should sell it. So if anybody's in the market for a really clean, low mileage,
The market's going up on it.
Yeah.
Right away.
that's it's going to be available.
Did you figure out what you want for that Mopar wheel?
I have no idea. Yeah, I have a wheel of a Mopar. Now, the deal was what did you find, Vince? You found, well, you sent me a link that was different. It was something different. Oh, I looked it up.
Right.
And I said, I don't know, I bought Challenger parts from a guy years ago, and I still have them, the full complete dash that I have, and I bought I needed a dash pad, but I took the whole dash. I took the doors came from College Point. Actually, I came up to College Point to buy them. And he had that wheel. I took a couple smalls, and the wheel was one of them. I didn't need it, and I obviously didn't put it on my car. But when I looked it up for application,
That was a 3-spoke or something.
This is a 2-spoke wheel.
Right. Yeah. That's like I said. My cousin and my aunt bought it new, 73 Challenger, and it had that wheel like I showed you, the 2-spoke with the 3 holes in it.
No,
Yeah, like that.
Look at that.
That's like I said. That was the wheel. It was in my my aunt's, 73.
I think they called that the tough wheel.
No,
I do have support number.
The tough
tough
wheel was like a
wheel.
wrapping on it, isn't it?
The tough wheel is a big, thick,
Really
black
thick.
one.
This is just a vinyl wheel, hard plastic,
Right.
and it does have a big horn button that I don't have.
Yeah, it's got like a big black, and there's like a white or silver ring around the outer edge
Yeah,
of the horn blow.
and I know they repro it. They repro the wheel. I don't know. I can't see if they go for too much, even original, because there was thousands of them around.
The tough wheel was a thicker rim, and the spokes were, I think, thicker as well, instead of where those were relatively thin.
Okay.
Because that's what I was saying when I sent you that picture. because I initially I put in like Challenger or Charger, Challenger, Charger, A body, E body steering wheels, and that's what comes up immediately is Grant remakes a tough wheel.
That's probably what I was seeing with the
And-
Grant wheel. Yeah.
And I'm like, no, I'm trying to, so I started going, looking for the guys who do the OEM stuff, trying somebody who's trying to restore one instead of going, to get a real replacement instead of a Grant wheel.
Right.
And I never could find that 2-spoke wheel like that. They would, and then when you found that one that had the 3 spokes on them, I was like,
Yeah.
okay, I remember that wheel too.
Yeah.
And I don't know. They had one of them. Like I guess they all did. They all experimented with the rim blow.
The rim blow, correct? That was a wood wheel with the rim blow. Yeah.
Because I think everyone at one time Ford had a version of it.
Yep.
So-
Ford Pontiac. Yeah, they had a rim blow.
They all had a version of that horn
67,
Yeah.
68.
rim blow wheel.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, and that's, you talk about day 2 stuff. The first things that went, the air cleaner, the steering wheel, the valve covers, the radio, gone. I mean, so that stuff now, stock stuff is like, it's really hard to find.
Exhaust
Especially if it was
manifolds.
just a mundane part, just something that wasn't even really nice looking. Nobody saved that. Air cleaners now are ridiculous if you got to find an original air cleaner.
Yeah, I got a
many-
guy bugging me for the one for the 66
Uh-huh.
because I've got everything. I've got the snorkel, the flap, and the heat exchanger thing, all with all the pieces and the valve and everything.
Right.
And he's restoring a convertible.
Okay.
And he stumbled across. I hate when people stop by and you have the garage door open because they spend more time.
So let me ask you this: why wouldn't you sell it?
Huh? I don't know.
Why
I don't
wouldn't-
sell anything. That's my problem. That's why I have all this shit.
That's why he's got to move all
I
this
know.
stuff.
Well, listen, we were just talking about this earlier. When I lost my
Why,
storage garage,
why do I torture this guy every Sunday morning because he wants these hypo heads sitting over here by the hot water heater?
I
You know what I'm saying?
So, when I lost my storage garage, I had to take everything out, obviously, and I had the original wheels off my Fiat with tires, center caps, trim rings, the whole bit. I painted them, clear coated them. So I have them sitting out in my driveway right now, and I want to get rid of them. So my friend Rick texted me the other night. He says, hey, a buddy of ours is looking for a set of original rally wheels. I'm like, rally wheels? Like Corvette? Because he's a Corvette guy. I said, Corvette wheels? No, it's for a GTO. I said, he goes, anybody that has them? I said, you mean rally ones? And he said, yeah. Well, I happen to have a set of 4 rally ones that I had on my car.
Yeah.
They're 14 by 6s.
They're like the Star Wheels, right?
No, it's it looks like a Camaro wheel. I'll show you a picture. So I'm obviously never going to use them. I'm never going to use them because I have 17s on the car now and disc brakes, but I have a set of 4 of them that are original.
Those are nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I have the set of caps and trim rings, and this guy wants to buy them, and he's got the money. And I'm like, well, shit, I didn't want to sell those. I want to sell the Fiat wheels, but he don't want those. He wants the wheels that I was gonna save because they're worth a lot of money. And I'm saying, well, what the hell? And of course, my wife, the bastion of common sense, says, well, why are you gonna save them if you're never gonna use them? Just because they're worth money? I said, well, yeah. She goes, well, they're not worth shit if you don't sell them. I'm like, well, that's true.
Which is kind of
And I said, look, I'm investing in your inheritance, hon. You don't realize. I said, but the problem is you're never going to know what to do with them, so you're probably going to junk them. So you're right. I probably should sell them. Now the question is, what do I ask for them? I have no idea.
Were they like this? Do they have that the disc brake thing?
No, these would drum brake. That's an early curve. That's an early generation Corvette.
60. That's a 67 only cap.
67, yeah.
Is that what that is? Because that was
That's a
on
one-
an Impala in one of my shops, and I was like, I never knew they said disc brakes on them.
On
That
the
was a
67, yeah, first year.
only option.
this breaks. They got
That rally hat that said disc brake That was a 1 year only option,
Yeah.
67.
They gotta fit on
Really?
the calendar.
Oh yeah, right.
So if you have the originals
Those are flat.
Right.
and they're in good shape,
That's probably some money there.
yeah.
Well, this car looks like it was pulled out of somebody's backyard, and it's being in a body shop being restored right now. And that's what I walked by and I saw those wheels and I said, man, I don't ever remember them saying disc brakes on them. That's why I took a picture to show Ray.
That's why.
See if that was right.
66 Corvettes.
Yeah, buddy might have a little 67 two-door or a 67 post car,
Right back.
and he had those
Yeah.
15.
You know what?
This was
The
a
garage
Impala.
14, no, he had 14 6 rallies on it. Because, you know, those center caps on the rallies will fit in 14.
Because that shot.
And then we got to talk about that. He goes, that was 67. That was a 1 year only, those
Really?
center caps.
Well, he's got all 4 of them on the car.
They are definitely worth some coin, Brian. That if you could grab them, look, I can send you some 15 by 8 Corvette wheels, and you can swap them with them.
Just swap
I got a full set of those. Actually, I had 2 sets of those.
Like I told you, I just negotiated today.
Of course, you have to realize that the context of that conversation took place in about 1987. So
Well, in 2025, my buddy Bill just made a deal for 67 Corvette wheels,
67, 68 Corvette wheels.
which are 67,
15 by
68,
7.
15
Got
by
date codes on
7 disc brakes, $150 per bare rim, and that's the good guy price.
Yeah.
well, if they're looking for date coded wheels, then that's
And
the.
these are date coated wheels.
Then see, that's
K6,
K6, November,
which is November 66. And they're actually, but you know, the reality about that is you take a date coated rim, you put a tire on it, nobody knows it's a date coated rim.
Put a center cap on. You don't even see
Yeah,
it.
nobody knows.
Right.
Yeah.
well.
But the Corvette guys are a different breed, so we.
Oh yeah,
You don't want to see it come out.
That's what I'm kind of glad the Corvette I'm working on. This guy don't care if it stays stock.
Nice. I like that guy.
Yeah.
Me too.
Day 2 guy. He's a day 2 guy.
I ended up being a day 4 guy on my car. I'm so far removed, it doesn't even freaking matter anymore.
This
Get
guy's a
the date on that 65 Corvette with the little wheels, with the little lights in the back. What do they think?
Okay, guys, let me throw something out to you. A friend of mine, my friend Rick, was looking at, he's got a 72 big block Corvette. It's a 454 AC automatic car, convertible. It's a platinum silver with a black interior, white top, and he has a hard top. He thinks the car's worth about 40 grand because it needs some paint
It's a
work.
convertible.
It is convertible. So he was looking to trade up. A guy has a 65 coupe in blue, like Nassau blue. It's a 327, 365 car. I'm not sure the transmission, if it's an auto or a stick, but
That's a big thing.
it's a, he said it's a solid lifter engine. The guy had done a bunch of work. And the car is all original except in the back where the taillights are. It now has just the strip of like a 67 GTO taillight or a Firebird, which was a very popular modification back in the 60s and 70s. A lot of, even the motion cars used the GTO or the Firebird taillights because it was a thin rectangular strip. So those are in the car, which obviously isn't original. He's asking like 65 for this car. And Rick is thinking about a trade. And he likes those lights. He would leave them.
Yeah.
But the question came up like, wow, why would he do that? I actually found in one of the magazines I was just reading, a cars magazine, a guy had a 65 coupe and had one of those wild multicolored paint jobs on it, a huge panel job like they did back in the day, glassed in the headlights, put the big driving lights, the big headlights in the grill, wheel flares, GTO taillights in the back. It was, and like I said, even the motion cars of the day use those lights. So what do you guys think of that mod? Would you leave that or would you change it?
I'm used to seeing the Corvettes where they added
The third light,
where
right?
they added a third.
That was that was easy because you just bore a hole and you put the light in. This one they had to like either glass it in or change the panel. I don't know what they did. It was done a long time ago.
I was just looking at that light upgrade, that add-on thing yesterday.
What? Yeah.
With the Well, just online because we were looking up taillights and whatnot for the 62.
Adding another
And-
tail
and,
light.
that came up. Well,
Who had that? Who had that upgrade, Justin? Who was selling it?
it wasn't a something. It was like an old magazine article or whatever. I
Okay, right.
just
there you
noticed
go.
it had come up because they had some with 3, some with even 4.
Oh
per
yeah. Well,
side.
the round lights, but this is like I said. If you know a '67 GTO just has 3 slits on each side, they would put one. Sometimes they put 2, but this was just one. The motion cars also.
The other thing they did was they put the '67 Rally Sport taillights in the car because they were solid red on both sides.
Okay.
That was another good look.
Yeah, guys could do all sorts of stuff. It's like putting Mustang lights on a dune buggy. You know, it was common back in the day, but now not so much. You know, I mean,
Well, I mean, it comes down to if the guy really likes it. That's like people think I'm insane for when I put the Thunderbird lights in mine.
Yeah, I was going to say 65 T-Bird lights
Right,
with the sequentials, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I like that look, and I like that. I mean, I have it in mind.
Right. Check, please, you can do whatever you want. You know what I mean?
I'd do sequentials if I could. Yeah.
All right. What'd you find there, Isaac? You got glare coming out.
Yeah, there.
All right, so you got a built-in spoiler here on the Corvette. You got a spoiler.
Right here. Is that the lights?
Yeah.
Kind of. I think so, but you're still getting a glare.
Looks like he's got 2 on each side.
Yeah, maybe.
That looks like a shark out of water.
But very, very similar. Yeah.
It's got like an aluminum or a
Yeah,
metal in the
it's got a
center.
chrome. Yeah, I would say that's it.
Got like
Yes.
a metal in the center, and then it comes out, and then
Well, the spoiler is also added, and he's got the big wheel flares. He's got the big Trans Am style flares.
now it's clear. Now it's pretty clear there.
I want to see the front of the car.
It's very Gene Winfield-ish.
I like it.
And he's got big wheel tubs or big flares on it.
Yeah.
I mean, if the guy's happy with, I mean, that's the bottom line. But I mean, I like that look. I mean, just like I said, people think I'm insane because I put the Thunderbird lights in mine.
That's the kind of Corvette that lights my wick right there.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a fan of the Thunderbird lights.
Yeah, the T-Bird lights are nice.
Yeah, you got my vote, Brian.
Thanks.
Well, they're in there, so it doesn't matter. They're already in there.
We're already in there.
Okay,
How about a red, white, and blue set?
There you go. Yes.
It kind of works too on that Corvette. If that's something that, like I say, was actually a thing back in the day. It's not like you took Challenger taillights and put them in a Corvette or something. You know, it's that was actually a thing people were doing.
Well, the thing I always remember growing up when I was, a youth, because I knew a couple guys that's all they worked on were Corvettes. And I remember specifically the guy, Bobby Linton, telling me, he says a Corvette, in his opinion, he goes, you do one or two things with them. He says, you leave them stock or where they're convertible, back to stock. If you put headers or whatever, you can put the manifolds and stuff back, stuff like that. He says, you leave them pretty stock, or he says, you go freaking hog wild with them, like that red one where you got the big fins and all that. And he goes, for some reason, he goes, with a Corvette, there's no in between. He says, the guys want ones that's bone stock, or like you just showed, we wanted the fancy paint and the custom. He goes, in his experiences, he goes, there's no real in between. He says they either want them wild and crazy or stock, and then they're going to put their own little thumbprint on it and how they want.
I don't know when he told you that, but I would back that up and agree and say other cars, there was a lot of in betweens. The Corvettes were kind of like that. They were either stockers or they were crazy.
The big thing here we used to do was the 4 flares, 2 flares definitely in the back, but 4 flares, Pirellis and knockoff wheels, give it that SCCA look.
Oh, if you want the SCCA,
yeah.
That's
true.
Yeah. But the 4 flares all the way around, nice.
And there were different versions of flares too. Yeah. I mean, the big balloon flares, I was never a big fan of those. They did on the Camaros too.
The modification here was you put the 427 Stinger hood on it.
The Stinger
hood. That's why my car is a day 2 car.
Right.
Let me show them the guys.
Yeah, Bill has a beautiful 67. Good wood green.
I might go with the Cougar. I might go with the Cougar lights on the Porsche 914. Just go all out.
You know what, Isaac? No, just go out to the bar and find a Cougar and bring her home.
Yeah.
The problem with the Cougar lights, yep.
Yeah.
Now, how's that? You roll up against this guy at the light. What are you going to do?
Lose, probably.
Yeah, lose. You going or you showing? What are you doing? You know? Yeah.
Hey, I'd rev it up to get him fired up, and even if I had a vehicle that could beat him, I'd just let him
take off.
I'd let him take off so I can see what it looks like.
So right down to the pins.
You know that wagon needs like a 408 or a 410 and about an 88 millimeter turbo and about 8 pounds of boost, and just kind of leave it there.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
So Justin, you're gonna like this. I sent Brian some pictures. My buddy, who's the plumber who I had come over to bail me out, he had a Chevelle that he sold, and he had a Fox body Mustang. That's the Fox. I think that one is kind of. It sounded kind of hot, but he bought another one. He sold the Chevelle, bought another Fox body. It's a 9-second street car.
Heck
It's supercharged, and I was like, dude, what are you doing? I'm like, I thought the other one was fast enough. He says, I don't know. It was a great deal. The guy, his brother-in-law has a speed shop. They built the car, campaigned it, took it to the track, got his time slips, and said, now I'm not using it, so I'm selling it. So he bought it. And I'm going to be seeing it soon, because I said to him, has it really been checked out? I was espousing my thoughts about brake fluid flushing and fluid changes, and I'm going to get him into the shop one Saturday, and I'm going to do a full fluid service on the car. But he sent me. I thought this stuff was I really thought this stuff was like AI, but it's not.
Show him a picture of Alfred.
Oh, how about this? You guys like
Alfred?
Guys like Alfred de Nova?
Yeah,
that's nice.
So this is what runs around Queens, New York. Just if you want to know, this is what runs up around the area up here. This stuff is it doesn't go out of town much.
Ray, my mom used to take us to school in a green one like that.
I thought this picture was AI, but it's not. It was actually blowing flames at the track. Look at the way this car is lifted. Look at the weight transfer on this thing. He is booking.
Heck yeah.
So
if I can get the wagon to do that,
well,
yeah, right.
The only thing I don't like, it's got that like flat putty kind of paint job.
Yeah, gray.
Which I'm not a big fan of.
I for some reason like those cars in like a dark green.
These are his two rides.
That does it.
And I tell you, from the last guy, he sent me this ET speed calculator that they figured out, and the car works out at 946 at 230 at 144 miles an hour. That's how it worked out on.
That's doing it right.
It's some serious shit, man. I was like, Pete, what are you doing? You're getting older. He goes, you know what? I figure I got 10 more years with these cars, and then I'm done because I'll be too old. I'm like, wait a minute. Then you'll be like a little older than me. Don't say that. Because I think I got at least 20 more years in me.
That's the dude with this Corvette I'm building. He's going to be 81 in March.
God bless him. God bless him.
That's New York National Speedway, 1972.
Oh, New York National Speedway in 1972.
Nice. Yeah, look at that.
I got pictures of Stockton Martin's car out
with the vinyl top.
Yeah.
That guy you're building the car for that's going to be 81, I'm going to shoot for that. Because at 75, that gives me 6 more years to screw around.
Well,
that's right.
What he figures is he's going to be 81 in March, and then he's going to get the car in the spring, and then he's going to be 17 for a while. So
right.
Yeah.
This ought to keep him going. He's had the car since, let me think, 68.
Wow.
When he bought the car.
Damn.
And it's been parked for this coming year will be 50 years since the car's been driven.
Brian, I know you like Mustangs.
That's the daily driver, Brian.
Yep. Look at that.
That's beautiful.
That's highly acceptable.
You got a side shot of that, right, Bill?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a hell of a daily driver. That's a daily driver. Lock me up.
Yeah, no shit.
Take me straight to jail.
I don't know how you're driving around in New York with that.
Yeah.
You got to make sure the traction control is on, man.
Traction control is on, yeah.
I bet.
That's wait till the guy with the 34 that's out on Long Island there. It's like, yeah, you got none of that stuff.
Yeah.
I
The traction
ran.
controls your right foot.
I was going out to the Hamptons with the car, and there's a guy playing with me on the LIE with 3 exits in a Tesla. So we get off the exit. There's a traffic light, and he rolls down. He goes, "Does that thing go?" I said, "What does that vacuum cleaner do?" So I revved the thing up. I got everything set. I got the dumpers open. I got the traction control on. I go through the gears. I got to tell you, I couldn't shake the guy. I couldn't find the guy. I was up to 145 miles an hour, and the guy was like right next to me, and I got him by like a fender and a half.
Wow.
We go to the next light. The guy said, "I didn't think that thing went that fast." He said, "I don't lose." I said, "Man, I didn't think that Sunbeam appliance ran that well."
Never seen a toaster that fast.
Man,
Yeah,
I
right.
couldn't believe it.
Right.
Yep.
Wow.
Those
Yeah.
those Teslas. They do surprise a few people.
They
Yeah,
surprised
yeah.
the heck out of me. And I got to tell you, that Shelby's got the 8500 red line. So I'm short shifting the car at 7700. And you could feel the computer fighting the traction control to keep you from corkscrewing going down into the valley, hitting a phone pole.
Yeah.
You know, in the Cars magazine I'm reading now, there's been a lot of they're doing some road tests, and they always say Marty Shore was right, and the term of the day was, you don't want to go off into the toolies.
No.
So I'm like, I remember hearing that. What the hell did that mean, the toolies? Like, I don't understand what that was. I got to ask Marty when I talk to him. Like, what the hell are the toolies? Obviously, that's if you run off the road. But
Justin, you got your phone with you?
I'm on my phone right now.
Good days, boys. Good days.
Give me 1 second, guys. I'll be right back.
I never had any cars like that. All mine were too goddamn practical.
Well, that's no goddamn fun.
I put the I added the stripe on the bottom to give it another look. I put the rally stripe on.
Brian?
I added the stripe on the bottom, Brian.
Yep.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's real nice.
Yeah. Well, I kicked myself. Well, like I said, I kicked myself in the ass that I didn't press my dad even harder for that 65 Shelby.
Yeah.
And I tell
Speaking
you,
of Shelby's, I am assuming you got the package of articles, right?
Oh yeah, yep. I sure did.
Good, because I just want to connect it because I saved a receipt just to make sure, so now I can throw it away.
Yeah, no, I got it. It was one day last week. I started reading.
There's some interesting stuff in there.
Yeah,
I mean, now a lot of stuff is from like the '60s, but I did give you some Haggerty stuff in there too. Some stuff that was off of Haggerty, but yeah, good. Okay, good.
That, like I said, I could have, man. That there's a guy that has one of my shops. He's got a '66 Shelby, and
Vince, what the hell's the matter with you? Instead of there's Citroen. What the hell? What the hell? Where does that come from?
Citroen.
Yeah.
You fucking wacko.
Viva la France.
You know what's so funny is the other day I
You're
was
a fucking weirdo. You know that?
If you remember the original Longest Yard.
Yeah.
Yes.
The opening scene of that Dakar chase was filmed here in Savannah.
When he steals the Maserati, that's a
he doesn't steal it. He takes it from his quote girlfriend.
But it's a Citroen
Maserati. They only made that car like 2 years. Those things are stupid rare. Even back then, they were rare.
Yeah, but who wants them?
Yeah, it's ugly.
Those cars were very surprising. That, like I said, the Maserati basically had a Maserati powertrain in it, so they ran pretty hard.
Mm.
That's like the Fiat Dino had a
V6.
Yeah, the Ferrari engine in it.
Yeah.
the Dino is starting to finally get some love from the Ferrari world, but not a lot. But it's
No, because that Fiat, but it was a beautiful looking car. I actually had the chance of buying one about 20 years ago, but the guy wanted 10 grand for it, and it wasn't running. I was like, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
So
I remember, God, probably 30 years ago, a guy had a Di Tommaso Panatera.
Oh, I think I
yeah.
have one of
That
those.
thing had a
I
ton
actually
of
got to
luck.
rebuild the carburetor for a Pantera, an original Holly that was off Pantera. I did one of those a few years ago.
Yeah, it had
Nice.
Cleveland with a ZF transaxle in it. That was, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm like Derek from Vice Grip. That's like a bucket list car, and I'm like, yeah, I'll never own one.
Did I ever tell you the story about the guy, my neighbor that has the Pantera?
No, I don't think so.
Well, one day, of course, I had the garage door open, and this van comes by and pulls in the driveway, and the guy gets out, and I'm like, yeah, what can I do for you? And he goes, you got any 351 parts in there? I see that you have a Mustang and this. I said, nah, mostly all, small block 289 stuff. And he goes, oh, well, I'm your neighbor. You might have heard my car revving up. And I said, oh, you're the asshole with the boat? And he goes, boat? That's a Pantera. That's a 72, blah, blah, blah. And I said, oh, the guy with the boat. Okay.
Making friends.
So about 30 seconds later, he gets, I hear that thing fire up, and he had to drive by the house at Mach 1, to show it off, And so the wife hears all the noise. She comes out and she goes, what's this? I said, oh, that's the asshole with the boat driving by. And she goes, oh, so you made friends with a neighbor? And I said, yep. Right. And I said, he comes by, he went by like 3 times. I said, he comes by here one more time, I'm throwing a brick out there, But
this is another look on a Nova, old school, really old school.
How about
the cheetahs?
How about another little look on the Nova with the cheetah slick?
Yeah.
I can down with that.
I don't remember a Cleveland being in a boat, but hey.
No.
I get that Pantera set up and put it in the back of the wagon. There we go.
Right. You can put a lot in the back of that wagon.
Ray, you were talking about that little Nova, the little black Nova that you showed earlier, the 69 or 68.
69, yeah.
No, yeah.
My mom, when I was in grade school, drove an L78 4-speed Super Sport Nova, and that's what she took us to school in.
Wow.
Sweet. Very nice.
Mom.
And
what happened to that car?
What's that?
What happened to that car?
It needed a clutch, and it locked up one day in gear because the clutch was, when it needed a clutch. My dad's like, yeah, it needs a clutch. Just be easy with it. Yeah. Well, my mom is my mom, and it hung up between gears, and she's like, sell this piece of shit. I'm tired of it. And it's like just put a clutch in it. I'm like, just put a clutch.
Vince, it had the Muncie shifter in it.
The shifter was the problem. I tell you, I had a 65 Biscayne. It was a 6-cylinder with a 3-speed on the floor, converted to a floor shift from a column. And whatever the crappy shifter was, it would hang up between first and second. And even in the winter, I had it down pat. I had a piece of cardboard in the back seat. I throw the cardboard under it. I'd roll under the car and just without even looking, grab the shifter and straighten it out. Put it back into neutral and then just get in and drive away. The shifter was what a problem. They were those Muncie shifters were they were rubber mounted off the transmission. It was a bad. Camaros did it too. It was a bad idea. Not for performance. But.
So she raised a bunch of cane about the car leaving her because it locked. And he sold it to a boy in Jacksonville for $1,500.
Oh wow!
And then about a week later, he sold it to somebody down in further South Florida for about 4 times that much.
Wow!
Because it was a real, honest to God, super sport, big block, 4-speed Nova.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Papa Squirrel, what do you got? A little black bear crawling on you?
Yeah, it's one of my 2 cats.
It's like a black bear.
Magic. She doesn't have 3 brain cells. It's lost in the yard.
Wow.
But the damnedest hunter If you ever saw it, she's cleaned out every one of the
Likes the
holes
camera.
and
Showing
openings
Oh,
us,
they
yeah.
had.
Show and tell night here.
the barn find. That was the Hemi
I
attack.
don't have any cats
Oh,
to show
yeah.
you.
How about a Hemi? How about a Hemi Coronet, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
RT car.
RT Coronet Hemi car.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Sweet. Yeah.
Talk flight. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have any cats to show you. Sorry.
Hey Brian, I got a tool thing to tell you about. I had my buddy Bobby's van in the shop a couple of weeks ago doing a whole, fluid flush and brake flush and all, and doing the oil filter change. He had the canister oil filter, and the canister sockets I had didn't fit. But what did fit was a 24 millimeter short socket on an extension. I said, I got something that'll fit this. And perfect. He's like,
got to use it, right?
He goes, what do you do? Cut those down? I said, yeah, I put them all on. I took out the rack of them. I said, yeah, I put all these on a lathe and cut them down. No, that's the way they come, dude. I said, oh boy. Here you go, Justin. You'd like to bomb this around Michigan?
Oh, you're darn right.
What year is this, Billy?
53.
53.
That's cool.
That is.
Wow.
37,000 original miles.
37,000 miles.
Original miles.
We got it.
I bought it
Is that a
from
Willis or a Ford?
That's a Willis.
We got a handful of guys at the shop have got Jeeps or off-road vehicles, and I'm like, man, I got to get something. That would be cool.
Four-wheel guy back in the day, right?
Oh, yeah.
That was your thing.
That was my thing.
Yeah.
I've had Rangers and whatnot.
Or something.
That would be
You
cool.
come get my Scout.
I saw one the other day for sale in Florida when I was coming back from Tampa. I saw one right around Stark. It was a bullnose Bronco sitting there, and I went, "Okay, that's pretty cool." Because you see stuff on the road, and you just kind of make a little mental note of.
Right.
AI did that.
So I went by there today and didn't even look to see if it was still there. Of course, the traffic was about 4 times heavier than it normally is, right there in Stark. So
We started.
but
Oh man.
did that little thing come through?
I guess I'm using the phone as my camera, so I can't click on anything, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's
But I did see something come up through, so I'll have to check it out when I top off.
Set that wagon up like that, and you'll be good to go.
Hey, guess what? I got to drive about 25 miles to put the garbage out tonight.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
Are you
Well,
still
what-
I guess the garbage ain't making it out. You better call the cat.
You got room at the end here.
No, it'll get out. I'll get it out. That's okay.
You better call the cat.
Yeah, it'll get out.
Yeah, but Ray, can you watch the Barney Miller episode that you're up to, or what?
No, I'm too late for that because actually, let's see, 11:33. The first episode is starting right now at 11:35, and then the second one starts at 12:10. So yeah, but I've circled around twice already, and I watched the whole box set. So I'm really it's redundancy. I was talking to Bill before. I said a lot of stuff I've seen enough, like Leave It to Beaver, where I know what's going to happen, so I don't even bother. And then I do see something that I kind of forgot that I kind of missed up on. But now it's back on season 1 already. So you got what's his name? The Puerto Rican guy. What the hell was his name on the show?
Rivera, what's his? Oh,
I don't know. The Puerto Rican.
yeah,
They had him in there. So Dietrich wasn't in yet. Dietrich came in as a first. I watched the video. There were certain guys that came in as criminals before they were cops, and Dietrich was one of them. He came in. Harris arrested him for portraying a priest, and
Yeah, you sent that link to me. I saw those clips too. Yeah.
yeah, they asked. Barney comes out and says, "Well, what church are you with?" He says, "The Church of the Street." The Church of the Street. He says, "Yeah." He goes, "Everybody's entitled to religion, right?" But so he was a criminal early on, and then like in the next season, he came in as a detective, and actually Little Levitt, who was the beat cop downstairs, who was always upstairs, he came in originally early on as a
Channel.
Oh, Channel, right? Was so Levitt came in as I think he was a second story man, but He was a thief, and then he came in as a cop. So, yeah, I mean, sitcoms did that back in the day. They reused a lot of stuff.
Ray, did you get that piece I think I sent you about the girl playing the Sanford and Sons?
I did see something with Sanford and Sons. Yeah.
She's playing it, got the cowbell and all that. Got the.
There's a lot of talent there. And now you sent me that one video the other day with the snooker guy, and now I've been getting in my YouTube feed all these snooker videos from England. And I'm like, oh my! One of them was a pool table, a snooker table outside that had like 12 pockets or 16 pockets, and these guys are making these like shots that are like 20 feet long. Like shit, bank shots.
That was the one where he hit the rack and it basically reset.
Well, the other guy, the first one you sent, the guy took a Marseille shot off the cue ball.
Right.
It took his object ball. The cue ball passed it, knocked the ball in the pocket, and then the 8 ball dropped. That guy's from Germany, and he's legit. That's a real guy. And he was like phenomenal. There was
one I saw tonight because I'm getting a bunch of the Marseille and different pool stuff as well.
Kim, always repeated Kim. Who is that?
Well, Kim isn't. No, I don't know.
I have no idea who that is.
Let's say Frank's birthday.
Is that Frank, the president of the club? But his girlfriend's Spanish.
Yes.
Unless it's another Kim.
Everything I get for the club comes from Ronnie.
Okay.
You could ask her.
Yeah.
Got a little sidebar here, guys. Sorry.
Yeah, no problem.